Bob.
Yeah.
Bob, I've got some really serious shit to talk to you about.
What's up, Mario? Why are you? Were you crying?
I'm a little upset. I'm having a hard time.
It's okay, buddy.
So, Bob, superstar horror artist Trevor Henderson.
Yeah, everybody knows.
Famous for so many creations.
Most famously, Siren Head, probably.
Siren Head, Cartoon Cat, Long Horse, many classic monsters, and also the idea man for the Mayfair Watches Society podcast, currently airing wherever podcasts are available. I think he's a monster.
Wait, what? Calm down. Sit down.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think he's like just a for real monster mash. Like a real monster mash guy.
Hey guys, what's up?
Oh shit!
How's it going?
Oh my God.
Thanks for having me on. How's it going?
Hey!
Hey, what's up?
Hey,
What were you guys just talking about?
Nothing.
Monsters?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, the book we're gonna read, that's what that's about, right? That's what you're talking about?
Yeah.
That's all you're talking about, right? That's it?
Yep.
Yeah.
The Girl Who Cried Monster by R.L. Stein. You know it.
Trevor, don't pay attention to the fact that we're both sobbing and shaking. It's fine.
That's fine. That never matters to me in any context. So.
Usually this is our like pre-show like kind of thing before every episode of You Can't Scare Me is
we cried out. We cried out.
You have a good cry. Yeah, and you purge your emotions so you can take in the Stein.
Yeah.
That's right. You got to come into it in a blank space.
Just like how we wrote them.
And scene.
Amazing.
Whew. Well, it's good that there is nothing going on.
I'm so happy there's nothing going on except for this piece of children's literature.
This is really good. This is really good. I'm glad I thought of it.
Fantastic. I am glad we did it. Hey, everybody. Welcome to an episode of You Can't Scare Me. Today I'm joined by, as always, we've got ourselves a Mario.
Hey, it's a Mario.
Hey, it's me. It's Mario, the cool ghoul who's everybody's pal.
And special guest, Trevor Henderson. Hi.
Hey, hello. How's it going? It's me.
Hello, hi, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
This is really a special treat.
Of course, yeah.
Did you like that totally well-integrated introduction in that improv that I managed to squeeze a resume in there?
Oh yeah. No, that was capital P Pro right there. That was great.
That's how we roll on You Can't Scare Me. So, guess what, y'all?
What?
You'll probably be able to guess pretty accurately.
Okay.
But we're gathered here today to discuss a certain jovial Bob book by the name of Girl Who Cried Monster.
That's right.
This girl is always crying monster. It's a real freaking problem.
This kid,
What is up with this lady?
she won't fucking stop.
She won't. Everyone's really upset with her in her life about how one track she is on the monster thing, I think.
It's truly horrific. Monstrous, if you will. So to keep with our general vibe, our general oeuvre, we've got ourselves a little, history happens, and we've got one person here who is a documentarian of it. A guy by the name of Mario. You gonna walk us through?
Bob, I've got some really bad news.
Oh no! Oh my God!
This is really bad news.
Say it isn't so.
This book released the same month as Night of the Living Dummy.
Wow, he's churning them out. Christ.
Yeah.
Just crank.
RL just knocked this sucker out.
Jovial Bob, known for nothing more than cranking it.
So there's no history, it turns out. We already did it. But you know what's a good history we can talk about? Trevor.
Yeah.
Trevor, what's your history with the Goosebumps franchise?
Oh, I go way back. I mean, I lived at the Scholastic Book Fair. I had, at the time, a complete set before I got up into the high number, like choose your own scare books and all that other stuff.
What?
I completely sidestepped the Fear Street series somehow. Just never even went near it. But I had every Goosebumps and then all like the knockoff Goosebumps too that were trying to ride R.L. Stein's steez. But yeah, no, I collect them all. I love them. Mostly I really love the artwork, obviously. This was right around the same time I was obsessed with Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark and Stephen Gamel's incredible artwork for that.
Yeah.
Between the two, like the kind of like monochrome, black and white, inky nightmare of Stephen Amell on the kind of glossy, textured logo Goosebumps front cover work of, God, I'm completely forgetting the artist's name.
Tim Jacobus.
Thank you so much. They were both very, very formative. But I did pride myself on having a full set for a very long time.
That's impressive.
I don't know anybody who had the full set, so now, thank you. I know a person who does.
You're the first person I've met who has a full set of this series.
Let me clarify. I had. I do not currently have a full set. They were lost to the sands of time.
Time and hard lessons.
I think it still counts.
Yes.
It's like a video game achievement. As soon as you do it, it just
it's just in there.
It ticks off, and then you're good.
Yeah. But yeah, super formative, and I just I currently just wrote a middle grade horror book, and the whole thing was just to be able to have a book at the Scholastic Book Fair that could be like what those R.L. Stine books were for me.
Yes, that's right. I didn't know if we could talk about that or not.
Yeah, we can talk about it. I'm pretty sure. It's been formally announced, and we're just like waiting to do like a proper like here's the cover and the final title and everything announcement, which will hopefully be pretty soon.
That is so fucking cool.
Yeah, no. I was approached by Shelley Ramiro, who was formerly with Scholastic, moved on, kind of bigger and better things. She reached out and was like, hey, want to do a kid's book? Because like your work out of nowhere over the last couple of years has just had this really fervent, like really small kid audience pop up out of nowhere. I mean, I never had that in mind, but it's just super cool that kids really resonate with the monsters and stuff I make up. So she was like, this would be a good fit. And, like I said, my whole thing was just like, I gotta have a book that'll be like on the Scholastic Book Fair.
That's so cool. That's like a dream, man. That's like
truly an achievement.
Yes.
And yeah, that's a really good observation. That kids just love horror. They like monsters. Like
they love it.
The absolute like ferocity that kids devoured stuff like the what were those short horror stories? I forget. SCP, I think.
Oh yeah, that's still going.
SCP. Oh yeah.
There's like 10,000 entries in that now.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's nuts.
Kids love that. Kids love that. Kids love monsters. Kids love creepypasta.
Yeah.
Five Nights at Freddy's. Like kids
Five Nights at Freddy's. Jesus.
The new one's the Backrooms. That's the one all the kids are into these days.
Oh,
I think.
yeah.
The Backrooms.
Yeah, you're right.
And there's a couple other liminal analog horror series that I have not explored.
Isn't Backroom like related to SCP in some way?
It started out as it's like its own separate thing. Oh. It's just SCP is kind of this black hole that tries to suck out in that isn't horror related or isn't SCP related, but is horror related.
Gotcha.
Everyone wants everything to be an SCP,
right? Yeah,
is the problem,
which is cool and could be harmless. But the thing is that not a lot of people totally realize is that when something becomes an SCP or is generally believed to be an SCP, it becomes Creative Commons, and you don't have the rights to it anymore. I know. So on one hand, very cool that it's this growing thing. On the other hand, it's kind of like this blob that's eating other horror properties and making them SCP.
It's so weird how the horror for kids, or horror in general landscape, but especially for kids, I think, has changed with the internet. Because, for example, they would not have had access to your stuff in the 90s. I would think it would be like a clearly defined not kid thing, so that wouldn't even happen. But it's like now they just have constant, unlimited, unrestricted access to all kinds of shit.
Everything,
yeah, which is wild. As a kid who had one issue of White Dwarf magazine and just looked at it forever because it had a bunch of goblins in it. It's like, hell yeah!
Now you have unlimited goblins.
I can have all the goblins I want.
For better or worse. Maybe too many goblins.
Got to beware of that Slender Man goblin. That one's a bad one.
Yeah,
and,
that's a whole. Hopefully, history won't repeat itself scenario there.
Yeah.
Oh,
May
God.
He rest in peace.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah,
woo-hoo. Let's not invoke that anyway.
Hey, how about this book, huh?
How about this book's cover by Tim Jacobus? It's so good. All of his covers are so good. It's so great.
This one is, I think, a classic. I think this is a classic cover.
I'm torn on this cover because I think it's a classic, and it's obviously I love Tim Jacobus, his work. but it's also just kind of like a fat guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
You're missing the wonderful facial expression of one Lucy Dark in the background.
oh yeah, it's pretty good.
It's so check the podcast art. It's her face is just incredible.
Yeah.
He, if you haven't seen, he did do the modeling for this cover.
Oh really?
I just posted
oh my
it in
god,
Discord.
that should have been the cover.
Oh god.
It's so good.
Yeah, that's incredible. But to spoil, like Trevor, you were mentioning.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, what's our level of spoilage here? Are we gonna reveal it as it goes, or
I think we're safe, really. I mean,
Okay.
I mean, we talked a lot about Slappy not being the monster in Night of the Living W1 at this point.
Okay.
You can
Yeah.
say whatever you want.
Well, I was gonna say that, like, literally the first paragraph of, I think, the second page, it was like, oh yeah, she's a monster. It's like it's a twist at the end. Whether that's a residual memory from when I read it like 25 years ago or something, but or it's just it popped out. But yeah, it's very Lucy Dark. Yeah, it's
Lucy
very-
Dark is yeah.
Yeah.
And lots of description, like her black eyes on her pale skin, and like all this. Yeah, they're setting it up. I can tell.
A lot of descriptions of black hair in this.
Yeah,
But I was gonna say, Trevor, you mentioned that it's basically a fat guy on the cover.
yeah,
Yep.
That is kind of a hint of how much fat shaming is going to be in this book. Yay!
Yeah.
Yay.
R.L. Stein's favorite.
Mormon innocent of all charges. All charges. This
Mormon did nothing wrong.
He literally. I think he chases.
Did nothing wrong.
He gets
No,
He gets
no, you got.
Okay.
I cannot disagree more. Do we want to? Let's save it. Let's save it.
Okay, let's go.
I'll just quickly.
Yeah.
I'll wrap up this cover real quick. So
Okay.
it's a big guy. He's eyeing a fly with bedroom eyes. And he's holding it in his big old hand. He's got a jar of turtles. And he's in a very purple library, and he's being watched by an aghast child standing in a blood red door. I think it's
Who very notably has blonde hair. It's
yes,
very-
yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Also, what is Mortman? What is that hat he's wearing? Is that
Yeah,
like
he's got like a poker visor.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a little poker visor. Yeah.
What the hell?
He's not wearing that in the He's not wearing that in the book or the show, I don't think.
No.
Yeah, no. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
But one thing we all know is that she's got the monster of all problems.
It's a pretty good tagline.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty solid.
It's better than most of the ones that we've come across so far.
Yeah.
Speaking of better than most, this cover, I'll tell you one thing that is better than the UK cover, which I'm going to post
Oh,
now.
I'm excited.
Oof.
Wow.
Oofa.
For the listeners at home,
Yeah.
See, I kind of like this. I'm going to be the odd one out here. I think this is better. It's completely misleading, but it's like interesting.
So it's just like the Night of the Living Dummy one, which is
Yes.
well, this one it's a girl's head inside of an ooze bath, but she's surrounded by books, which really makes it seem like the monster is reading. That's
Also, her hair is not black.
No one gets
one
that.
The one thing they described about her.
Zero covers get that.
Yeah.
This is gonna let you know now. I don't know what this says. I mean, I guess there is a library in it, so
Also, for the listener, to conjure a visceral, like, sort of image in your mind, the goop that is surrounding Lucy is
looks like melted peach rings.
it's a bunch of melted peach rings, but it's also it reminds me of the slime from, what was it, Goosebumps 2? Or I'm sorry, not Goosebumps.
Oh, no, it's-
Ghostbusters 2.
Ghostbusters 2. I got I got that confused.
There's also slime in the Goosebumps movie. Sorry, there's a big slime at the end of that too.
Yeah,
I'm sure
yeah.
there has to be.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to get to that one.
All right, here is, for the record, I think this is the best French cover we've had. This is like,
That bar is so low.
Wow.
I know the bar is low, but I think that kicks ass. Like,
That rocks. I love that.
Oh my god. It also emphasizes why we must convict Mortman because of turtle death.
I love, so it's just Mortman with like his eyes crawling out of his skull, and he's got like a shark mouth. It's literally the Jaws poster for one thing. So like,
Yeah.
it's half the Jaws poster, but they gave Jaws googly eyes in a suit, and he's eating a turtle. I think it's very creepy looking.
It is.
It is.
I think that's an effective cover.
It's very good.
I have a final one. Hold on, sorry.
I love the red popping on the black and white.
Yeah,
And then,
there's some subtle tones, and then the rainbow sort of like gradient around the outside really makes it pop. I like that. I've never seen that. The Japanese Goosebumps covers are out of control.
They're so
always-
good. This one did not get a Japanese translation.
that's
What?
So
Bullshit.
we don't have that. But let me hit you with this. This is pretty out of control. This is the Indonesian cover.
Oh, the Indonesian covers are pretty good too.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Hey.
Well, that's pretty good.
Whoa.
It's not great quality, but like I really like this thing.
That just clicked. I was like, what am I looking at for a second? But that is very good.
Yeah, this cover reminds me of like the poster for Cabin of Dr. Caligari for some reason.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I can see it.
It's really bold. They went with like the cum font for Goosebumps on this.
Yes, Indonesia loves the cum font. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's something about the Goosebumps with the goopiness and it being white is just come on, guys.
They did this with Monster Blood as well. It's very cum oriented. Unrelated to cum, this cover depicts a shadowy silhouette of Mortman eating a fly with like a really long tentacle tongue and like tentacle hands, and in his within his shadow is Lucy Dark with black hair.
Yep.
Finally.
Taking the photo. I think this is really cool. Look it up, listeners. I think this is the best one, personally. This is the winner for me.
Not of all the Goosebumps books, definitely.
No, of this
but
book.
of this batch, I'm right there with you.
I like the French one, the goofy / like legitimately kind of eerie imagery there.
That's a runner-up for me. I think it's a solid cover.
Yeah.
Whereas the Indonesian one is just purely like very stylish. It's very good.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Lovely. Alrighty. Do we want to go ahead and dive into chapter summaries or?
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm ready whenever you are.
I think I got the first 8, so I'll start here.
Yes, you're in the lead.
Okay, cool. So I really like the start actually, because I think it starts with Lucy Dark talking about how she loves to scare the shit out of her brother, who's a total scaredy pants, and she loves making up monsters, which is going to come to bite her in the butt later. And she tells the story about a toe eater, which is actually like a pretty goddamn cool monster. Because I love, it's all about this monster that can camouflage in any surface and lives in like suburban areas, which I obviously vibed with. But I love the idea of like a predator blending in with like manicured suburban lawns. That's really cool. And then she does a really good joke, a really good jape about having her toes bitten off when actually she's just buried her toes in the dirt, and then her brother freaks out. And then, we get the first of at least a few cliffhangers that are just completely lazily walked back. It's really good. Where he's like, oh, her toes were missing. Oh, no, they weren't.
I see you are a fan of Goosebumps.
That is an R.L. Stine staple.
You can just feel the lack of giving a shit behind the typewriter.
You can feel Bob keeping it jovial.
Yeah, this is the first. I don't know if I've established this. The first Goosebumps I've actually read in since I was 15, and I'm 36 now. Shit. So it's a kind of a reintroduction to old Bob's work here.
This is the first chapter cliffhanger is a staple.
Yes.
He does it again. The second chapter is the first chapter again, where now another kid walks up, Aaron, who sucks. He's just annoying.
He sucks. Aaron sucks.
He
Just
sucks.
get that away right now. That guy sucks.
Totally sucks.
Kinda sucks.
He shows up after the brother ran off, and now she's like, "Oh, I'll just do the same. We'll do it again." And then he's like, "There's a monster in the tree," so she does a whole shtick with that, with a broom handle, and then the chapter ends with the monster falling on Aaron, and he's like, a monster fell in his lap. And the next chapter's like, actually, it was a twig. Don't worry about it. I wrote Aaron sucks again at the end of that.
Aaron sucks absolute shit. May I add? May I interject here?
Please,
So I would like to note, so we've revealed the twist early on here, which is that Lucy herself is a monster.
Yeah.
But I do think it's so abundantly clear that she's not a normal kid.
Yeah.
Because,
she's a weirdo.
Yeah, her name is Lucy Dark. That's a Goosebumps first. No, everyone's had, normal names, and I don't even think anyone's gotten a last name. That's weird. And then she and her brother are, They both have big black eyes. They both have pale white skin. They both have dark hair. They both, like,
Yeah.
she says that her teeth don't stick out as much as her brother when she smiles. But interesting to note that. Like, it's just like, okay, all right, RL.
Yeah,
so
we get it.
Yeah, we get it. I too am in love with the toe biter. I think that was like masterful storycraft there.
Yeah.
From like, that's dope as hell.
No, it's legitimately good.
Yeah.
Like legit solid.
Yeah.
Like it really plays with like anyone who's ever like had their feet dangling over a bed and then just like got suddenly this fear that something from under there was going to come up and grab your foot. You just kind of put your foot back on the bed. Like, yeah, I love that. I love the idea of, something eating your toes.
Yeah. All the monster stuff in this is actually like on its own extremely cool.
Agree.
I love that she's just like, yeah, Randy's a dumbass. He's like so easy to scare. You can just tell him fucking anything and this kid will believe it. Like,
yeah, I'm surprised we jumped on the Aaron sucks train, which is a good train. It's a very
true.
Sturdy train. The tracks are very well kept.
They'll carry you. They'll carry you all the way.
Yeah.
Of all of the people in this story, Randy. Holy fucking shit. Randy sucks so fucking much.
He's not great.
He's such a shit.
Not great.
He's such a shit.
It is really cool that the first like sentence is like, "My name is Lucy Dark. My brother's a dipshit. I love scaring the fuck out of her."
It's also great that this book starts with like a flash forward, and then the rest of it is kind of remembering how Lucy got into this position. Which
it does a bit of the let's get invisible thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
it doesn't happen all the time, but I do appreciate when it happens because it really kind of helps
It's a solid hook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next chapter is just, setting up the library program and introducing Mortman and how like wet and round he is in every possible. He's so everything he touches leaves like wet, moist handprints on everything, and Lucy already comes off as kind of a total asshole. I mean, if the stuff with her brother already wasn't there, this would clearly establish that she's kind of a judgmental prick.
So I think this is our youngest little brother.
Yes, that's actually what I was going to bring up.
He's 6.
Yeah, he's 6. And guess how old Lucy is?
Oh, big fat 12 years old.
Oh, you got it. How did you guess?
Before I even opened the book, I knew.
Every single time.
I knew that within the first paragraph we were going to learn that she was 12 years old.
I didn't even expect Jovial Bob to even say her age. Like, we just know at this point. We just assume. Real Goosebumps heads know.
Why deviate at this point?
Exactly. You've established it.
It is an interesting thing to make her, because usually the brother is like 10.
Yeah.
So, but now we have like, instead she's actively scaring a child, which you have to think R.L. Stine was putting a little bit of himself in here with this character. Like,
oh yeah, easily.
He's done it before.
Yeah. I mean, I related. I think she's relatable in the sense that if you're an awful child upset with monsters, you just like constantly do it.
And her brother's like the most susceptible to it possible. Like, he's just waiting to just be terrified at every possible instant. How could she ever resist?
Exactly.
Meanwhile, Aaron doesn't care about anything.
No.
It just sucks.
It's your classic Dennis the Menace type sort of.
I don't even know why she tried. I don't even know why she did it. Like,
I kind of get the impression that it's her go-to social interaction with everyone.
That's fair.
No matter what. Everyone seems really exhausted. Yeah.
I relate to that.
Which makes sense if, considering the ending. And
of course. Yeah, that would make sense. Though you'd think she'd be a little more close-mouthed about the whole monster thing. Yeah, personally.
You know what? I honestly... So let's just get this out right now. And then we'll go to chapter 3, and that's fine. But, like, I just gotta say it right now. I don't know if R.L. Stine himself had grappled with the implication of the twist ending of this book when he began writing it.
I was gonna bring that up. I don't think none of it tracks at all, especially the parent stuff.
It feels so out of left field.
It does. It really does. It feels like you went back and, like, changed her name to be slightly sinister and changed her description to be like slightly weird, maybe. And then he's like, oh yeah, it'll work. I mean, and it did. It's fine.
Yeah, it did. It's definitely memorable, but this definitely, yeah, I kind of agree with you, Mario. This ending felt more like this is an idea that R.L. Stine had in his back pocket for when he couldn't figure out how to end one of these. It was just like, fuck it, everybody's a monster.
And here's the thing, he's going to do this again.
Not the last.
Oh, yes.
Not the last.
This is not the last time.
Off the top of my head, is one with vampire breath, I think? Something.
Yeah, vampire breath is one of them. Yeah.
It's the same thing, yeah. Oh, the one on the ghost on the beach one is also...
Ghost Beach, yes.
If I remember correctly, Welcome to Camp Nightmare.
That one, okay.
Book.
That one is way cooler and better.
It's so good.
I agree. It's a better version of this.
Oh, it's so good.
Whenever I think of M. Night Shyamalan, I think of that book. My brain is broken in that way, where it's just like every single twist ending that could ever happen. I just immediately think, oh, it's like Welcome to Camp Nightmare.
It's actually it's even better than that, because Bob was reaching for the classics with that one. That's a Matheson twist from one of his short stories, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah.
There's a story where these people like planning to go to another planet, like to fleeing a planet, and then you find out the planet they're going to is Earth.
Yeah.
The whole time.
It's a Twilight Zone episode as well. Which maybe adapted from the story.
It was. You're right. Yeah.
That's where I remember that from.
Cool.
So yes, as you were saying, so in chapter 3, I'd like to note, this is where I think we learn the pathology of Lucy. Because she comes, so Randy runs in the house to tell his mom about the monster, right?
Yeah.
And the fucking first thing Lucy does is like, Mom, don't be mad at me because I saw a real monster in the hedge earlier. And I think that she's like the fucking Riddler. I think she can't stop. I think she could commit the perfect crime, but she can't stop telling people monster stories.
Yeah.
This is like an origin story for Lucy Dark.
Yeah, this is a future Batman villain, Lucy Dark.
Just telling a bunch of bullshit stories. I don't think we get any mention of her being a weird creep voyeur yet. But that pops up like 4 times.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
The book is so cruel to Mortman. So Mortman is the library guy.
I'm going to talk at length of why he's completely innocent later. Turtle included.
No.
I agree.
Turtle included.
No.
Sorry.
So here's the thing. He is doing a service to this community.
He is. He's a flesh-eating monster, and he could be chowing down on kids, but instead, all he does is close the blinds in his fucking library and eat some turtles he got from the pet store.
And encourages children to read.
Yeah, encourages reading. He completely is just this like recluse who is keeping himself separate from the community that he clearly enjoys and treasures, because he knows he's a danger, and he just like eats pet store turtles instead of murdering children. And then this little girl shows up and is like, "Fuck this dude. I hate him because he's fat."
In particular.
And then, and then it just goes from there. It's horrible.
Were you going to mention anything about the Reading Rangers?
A little, no, I have the least amount written down for this chapter. I just say that she goes to the library program. She does a really half-assed job reading books, to get stars, to get another book.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then, though there's a great line that I think is only in the TV episode where, because in the book, she's not reading Black Beauty. In the TV episode, she's
right. Yes,
Black Beauty. And she's like, "Oh, I wish the horse had 2 heads and fangs." And Mormon's like,
also fair.
Sure, but he's obviously heard it like 12 million times by now. He's so done. He's so done with Lucy.
Do you remember the book that she was reading in the book?
It was, I know she trades up for Frankenstein. It was, not Anne of Green Gables. He recommends that one.
That's late. Yeah,
that one's later. It's Huckleberry Finn.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right.
I wonder why they changed that.
I wonder why. Yeah, we'll never know.
So, I gotta tell you, now he is doing a service in getting kids to read. The Reading Rangers is like the standard, if you read enough books in the summer, you'll get a pizza thing, like
that rocks.
Yeah.
Everybody's library did that.
Ruined my love of reading.
But like, I gotta tell you, I think he's half-assing it a little bit. Because
he is. No, he barely presses her on it.
Yeah, Lucy shows up and has read 4 chapters of Huck Finn. Fair enough, Lucy. And she's just like, and he's like, what did you like about it? And she said, "I liked the description." On the back of the book. And that's like, okay, gold star. Fuck.
Yeah, that's true. He's obviously been worn down by the time you catch him, by like the pure apathy of the kids he has to engage with. He's
The man only needs his bugs and critters.
Yeah.
That's all he gives a shit about.
Yeah.
Everything else is just means to an end to eat a turtle or two.
I kind of thought in the beginning that he was doing kind of a Renfield thing where he's going to feed the flies to the turtle, and then he was going to like make a dog eat the turtle, and then keep going up the chain, which would have been interesting. But no, he just eats turtles sometimes. And
Sometimes.
if I was going to eat bugs, flies would not be my choice. It seems like they're not a very economical
Nutritive substance.
And you just open that jar, they're going to go everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. They're just going to escape. They're just going to get all over the place.
Get some crickets, man.
So to contextualize, so Lucy does her dumb thing where she doesn't read the fucking book and gets a gold star anyway.
Yeah.
And fucking boomers complain about participation trophies. Like, really? Because So she brought her blades, her roller blades, to the library, but she forgets them, has to go back in. And when she does, she discovers that yes, Mortman is feeding some turtles, some flies, and then we should also know, so Mortman's super gross. He's wet.
He's
really
wet and bald and fat. As
and
they
fat,
say
and you should
lots
also
of
note
times.
that he's fat.
Wait, how could you guys tell that he was fat? I couldn't tell.
I didn't keep track of how many times they referenced it, but I literally looked at the page and saw he held it in his pudgy fingers and put a please smile on his pale, flabby face.
Yeah.
He questioned what was happening and rubbed one of his many chins.
Yes. What
Lord,
the fuck?
Jesus Christ.
God damn it.
So then she stays behind, and he sees him kind of monster out, which is like very cool, actually. It could have been just like, oh, he grows fangs and claws and stuff and eats some bugs. But what it is a very like almost like horror manga kind of monster transformation where his head swells up like a big like air balloon and his eyes pop out.
Yeah.
It's just like this really surreal kind of like imagery.
I loved this.
They don't even mention that he has fangs or anything, I don't think. They just say he has this yawning void of a mouth and these like pool ball sized eyeballs that kind of bulge out and move independently. It's really grotesque.
And like bulge out on stalks. And and at one point later on, she describes his mouth as a capital O.
Yeah.
And it's just like in an open void. It's every time they described his transformation, I thought of, you remember in John Carpenter's The Thing, when the head of the thing falls off after it's been set on fire?
Yeah.
And it grows stalks and then little eyes and crawls around.
Yeah.
Totally.
That imagery is in my head whenever they describe it.
It's giving me end of Night of the Living Dummy energy, where like Joey Bob is not afraid to be really gross for a second.
Yeah.
And I like that.
It would have been really easy to be like he turns into a vampire or a werewolf or something.
Yes.
The book would have functioned exactly the same, but you can see him come to life a little bit. It's great.
There's a hint of joy in this description.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So Lucy sees this happen, and then as becomes a trend very quickly, does a terrible job hiding that she's there. She just kind of like books it out. Doesn't even try and sneak out or anything. Just runs out and slams the door. Leaves all her shit behind. Leaves her rollerblades or whatever.
Also, you mentioned her being a creepy voyeur, and this does have the
Yeah, she's like, I love watching people when they don't know that I'm seeing them. And
Yep. I like spying on people.
I like spying on people. It's like, this is our hero, this weird creep. I mean, kids are like that sometimes, but I don't know. I don't know if I would have been on board if I read that when I read that as a kid.
Maybe it's her natural predator instincts that she's inclined to watch people because she wants to eat them.
It's Mr. Stein's 4D chess towards the twist, I think, for sure. Yeah, what else do we got? And then she goes back home and then we get I think it's a very short chapter with her parents. Trying to convince them that there's a monster and this librarian, and a really interesting little moment where Dad's making meatballs.
Yes,
that stood out to me. I also like big meatballs. Lucy's dad.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
Why do you want those little? Why do you want tiny meat? You want a big Italian meatball. Yeah.
Put some meat on that meatball. Come on now.
Yeah.
Put some meat on that meatball.
Exactly.
Yeah, she tries. So first of all, she gaslights herself by saying it's like a trick of the light.
Yeah.
Fucking Lucy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was the shadows made it look like his head swelled 4 times bigger, and then his eyes popped out, and then he ate a bug.
I love how quickly she jumps to one of the possible explanations for it, that she's an idiot.
Yeah, and then I think she, unless I'm missing something, almost immediately it cuts to a week later, and then she's going to go back
Reading Rangers.
to the Reading Rangers. Yeah, and then she does some great interrogation where she's like, "Mr. Mortman, what do you think about monsters? Do you think there are real monsters, Mr. Mortman?"
He handles it well.
He does.
It's like water off a duck's back to him. This is like
It's because he just wants to be left alone. He could have taken this kid out at any point after finding out that she saw him. He's hoping she'll just drop it or get distracted by something else. He clearly knows that she knows immediately.
So I love that he goes for... So first of all, I just want to note, man, it must have been... she didn't read Frankenstein, obviously.
No, not at all.
I don't think she finished it.
She read like half of it, I think.
Yes, she read half of it.
Because there's a monster in it.
Yeah, but man, it must have been really disappointing when she got to the part where Frankenstein turns into, like, kind of not a very exciting book.
Yeah, I haven't read Frankenstein, but it's a lot of, like, really florid descriptions of, like, fields of flowers and stuff, right?
Yep.
Is my understanding. I've heard Dracula's a lot more exciting.
Lucy just goes to Mortman and is like, "I'm not a fan of flowery prose."
But he follows up with fucking Anne of Green Gables.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
That's his next suggestion. He's a lover of the classics, I guess.
I just like, man, you listen, this kid has every word out of her fucking mouth is monsters. You've got to have a copy of Beowulf or something in your library.
Or like War of the Worlds or The Time Machine or something.
Time Machine
would be great.
I mean, hell, just give her one of those, like, famous monsters books. Like, fuck it, what are we doing? Like, you know how you had all those, like, scholastic books on, like, the Bermuda Triangle and shit? I love that.
Those are great. Yeah, absolutely. Like, any of those would have worked. But it just ties into the fact that obviously he's been, desperately trying to be the outreach to the city's youth.
Yeah, he's trying to do good. I mean, you know,
for so long, and there's been such an apathy that he's become like completely disillusioned about it, and he's just trudging through his days, waiting to eat flies. That's all he can think about.
I love this. I love what you guys are doing with this, like, rewriting history specifically to make Mortman, like,
it's in the text. It's not even subtext.
That's textual.
That's textual. It's right there. It's all about this beleaguered man with an affliction trying to lead a quiet life and being dragged out into the light by this.
Being violently murdered.
Yeah, and then he gets murdered. He's the only thing this guy does. The only thing the villain, in quotations, does in this book is eat a turtle.
No.
Everything else.
No.
Okay. What else does he do?
He locks fucking Lucy in the room with him and then says, "Hey, I'm gonna fucking kill you."
Okay,
yeah. She puts him in a corner.
Let's be straight up. First of all, the first time. He didn't even know she was there. This is the chapter we're currently on.
True.
She's like, I'm going to continue spying on this man who's done nothing to harm me.
Which is fucked, yeah.
And so she fucking hides in there for hours. She hides in his liberary, waiting for this man to turn into a monster again in his private time.
And just as a aside, it is described, and her waiting for hours is so fucking funny.
It's so weird. Fuck.
She describes her legs as being completely asleep, and it's hard for her to get out of the position that she's in just because her body has, like, fatigued in the time that she was waiting, which is like, what fucking dedication? Like, what? Why? For what purpose? Anyway.
She's such a, like, Harriet the Spy style asshole. She just sucks.
Yeah.
Nobody likes her.
Yep.
And then she. Oh, sorry. Go on.
So the locking in. Yeah, she freaks out. She's like, "Oh my god, he's locked me in." Yeah, because he's closing the library. Like the library doesn't stay open forever.
He turns the lights off. It's his private time.
We'll get to it. I won't. We still have a ways to go because I'm not talking about when he locked the door in this chapter.
Well, that's going to be in your section anyway, right? So you're
I think that's in yours.
Okay,
yeah,
well, I have no problem with it.
That's
so it'll be biased.
Yeah,
that's the very end of my section is when that happens.
Okay.
Then I think she goes back to the library to get evidence, but just like it's really unclear because she says she wants to get evidence, but then takes no means to do that. She just goes to see it again because she thinks she misremembered or forgot or didn't see it right. So this will prove it to everyone when she just is going to see it again alone in a dark library. It does. Yep. It's very stupid.
Yep. She's very dumb. I just like to know that as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So she goes to the library. She stays there for hours in this cobwebby, shitty little space in the shelves, I think. Yeah. And then he transforms again, and it's just she's just interrogating this man. It's terrible.
It's awful.
Yeah, he eats a turtle. This is when he eats a turtle. Which
eats a turtle.
Like, all right. I mean, I'm just saying, you gotta eat.
You gotta eat. What did a turtle ever do to anybody?
The turtle do nothing. But you gotta stack these things next to each other. He's a flesh-eating monster. He's trying not to kill people. It's gotta go somewhere, I guess.
When a shark eats a turtle, are we mad? Are we mad the shark ate the turtle?
Yeah.
If I was on your side and pro turtle death, I would also say, hey, what's the difference between a human eating a cow?
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly, yeah.
So, I'm with you on that. I mean, it's a turtle, and I love turtles. And
to clarify, I'm not pro turtle death. I'm pro not the kids getting eaten, so it has to be something else.
Sure. Yes. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I'm not bloodthirsty for turtle death.
No. Stick it to the turtle, Stein.
They've had it easy for too long.
Yeah.
R.L. Stein out here with his anti-turtle fat people.
Wouldn't it be weird if that just kept popping up like every more and more in each book, like just more and more turtles just got.
R.L. Stein isn't like fat people, the deaf, and turtles. Those are the three things he can't stand.
Absolutely can't do it.
I don't want to skip. There's a really weird little moment where Aaron goes into describing his weird one-person frisbee for like a paragraph and a half.
Yeah, what the fuck? I tried to look that up. What the fuck is that?
I did too.
It doesn't exist, right? It's total bullshit, right?
It has to be.
It's so weird.
I think it's gotta be a Nerf thing. It's gotta be something R.L. Stein saw on an infomercial.
That's what I thought, but I looked it up. I couldn't find a damn thing. The closest thing I found was the pet, the rope frisbees for pets. But that's it. Like it doesn't. It's not the same thing at all.
No,
it's so weird that it's like a full little paragraph where he's like, "No, Lucy, let me explain it to you. Here's exactly how this one-person frisbee game works." And she's like,
which, by the way, is the saddest fucking thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, it sucks. And she's like, "Oh, okay, back to the library."
I had to buy a frisbee for one person because nobody talks with me. I'm so lonely.
Aaron in the TV episode is so much better, in every possible way than the little they give Aaron in the book. They give him
significantly improved.
They give him so little, and it's all terrible. I hate him.
Yeah, like in the book, he's got one part where it's like he kind of redeems himself, but in the show, it's like he's got a major part in the ending, and I'm like, oh hell yeah, dude!
Yeah, he almost gets fucking killed.
We'll get there because I think that ending is better than the book ending.
Oh, there's so much, like especially how the parents realize.
Yes.
We'll get there. But yeah, I was hoping that Aaron was playing with like a skip ball or something. Like you want to go with like nostalgic toys. Like give me something like that.
It's perplexing.
What was it called? Is it a skip ball? Is it like you have it on your ankle?
the one that spins around your ankle?
Yeah. Oh yeah. What is that called?
He should have had some devil sticks going. That would have been good.
Oh man.
Oh fuck.
Moon shoes.
Oh, moon shoes. Fuck yeah. He would have been playing Bop It.
Oh fuck yeah.
Lucy came upon Aaron, who had just found a new slammer and was working with playing with some Pogs.
Oh my god. Oh, I just remembered Pogs. Pogs were so fucking cool.
Fuck.
Yes. But yeah, anyway, my chapter ends with Lucy realizing that she's locked. She's locked in with Mortman.
Locked in.
Her own fault, to be clear.
Yeah, because she's really stupid.
She is very stupid, and that comes to a head in Chapter 9. Chapter 9, Lucy is, quote, trapped like a rat or a turtle until she realizes how locks on doors work by locking from the inside and escapes Mr. Mortman's library.
My note right there is God, wow, you're so stupid.
Yeah. She does a whole thing like, oh, we'll have to. She has to see where the lock is a turn lock, but maybe if it's key. But she's like standing in front of the door at the when she's deliberating this and trying to decide whether it is or isn't.
It's absolutely fake tension, which, hey, Goosebumps. A lot of that turns out. Seeing Aaron as she's running home, Lucy tries to tell him about the cosmic horror she just witnessed, but Aaron's attention is entirely focused on his weird solo frisbee toy, which I'm not sure is even a thing. She tells him about Mr. Mortman eating a turtle, to which Aaron responds, "Yum." Getting nowhere, Lucy chides Aaron for being a terrible friend because he won't believe her despite having lied about this very topic tens, if not hundreds of times, and continues running home. Once she arrives, she tries to tell her parents about what she just saw, which I'm sure will go over fine this time. However, Lucy only finds Randy watching cartoons. Randy says that their parents went out grocery shopping. Lucy storms upstairs and discovers a big, brown, hairy monster on her bed. Whoa!
I hate Aaron so fucking much.
It's the worst.
The part that really got me was Lucy, give me a break. I don't want to talk about monsters now. It's kind of babyish, and I wrote in all caps, die. Although I do think this is funny because like Lucy's like so freaked out, and it's just like, if it isn't the consequences of my actions. It's the Gundam, I'm a genius. I'm an idiot.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Exactly.
Oh God. Chapter 10. Never mind.
Yep.
It's some paper mache thing Randy made to scare Lucy. Who cares? Lucy tries to explain to Randy that Mr. Mortman is a monster. He eats flies and turtles, and she's totally for real this time. Randy's having none of it, and only wants to go back to watching his cartoons, and looking up popular cartoons in 1993, I'm going to assume he's watching either Bonkers, The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, or SWAT Cats. Actually, I take that back. Randy doesn't seem cool enough for any of those shows, so he's probably watching VeggieTales or some shit.
Yeah.
Well, shit, Bob, there is a history lesson right here. You just gave us one.
Exactly. I have the wiki page open. I have only a couple more sentences for this chapter. I'll just keep going.
All right.
Suddenly, there's a knock on the door. It's Mr. Mortman. Oh shit, an actual cliffhanger. Neat. So yeah, I found the list of all of the animated TV shows that were on during 1993 to figure out what...
Cowboys of Moo Mesa, for one.
They established in the first chapter that Randy's too scared to watch even read superhero comics. He only reads Disney and Archie, so like nothing cool at all.
Zero chance he even touched SWAT Cats. No way in hell he touched SWAT Cats. The Radical Squadron.
I was just kidding around in order to make light of the fact that VeggieTales premiered in 1993. But turns out I have a sixth sense for shitty characters and predicted that he most likely watched VeggieTales, and I'm probably right.
You probably are right. He would be a VeggieTales kid. I
Definitely.
would just like to go back to note how fucking cool SWAT Cats was.
SWAT Cats legitimately...
I was obsessed with SWAT Cats.
The intro song is one of the hardest fucking intro songs for any cartoon. Look it up. It's amazing. I might even play a little bit of it right here.
It all goes so fucking hard.
It's so good.
I gotta look that up. I missed this one completely.
Oh my god,
so.
Trevor, there is literally there is like a demon cat named Dark Cat who like summons literal demons from hell, and they fight them in a jet.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Also, there is like a lizard cat. There's a time traveling evil sorcerer, like necromancer cat. He's like a skeleton.
Skeleton? Okay.
And yeah, the intro, I just watched the intro. You'll immediately get hooked. It's truly fucking magnificent. It's really amazing.
I was over here in Canada watching the raccoons. I didn't get any of this really good stuff.
I'm so fucking sorry.
Hey, that's an incredible theme song though. You should listen to that theme song too.
This is the evergreen forest. Quiet, peaceful, serene. That is until Bert Raccoon wakes up.
It's not quite as hard as that.
Just looking at the SWAT Cats wiki here.
Oh my God.
To check and see if I can. What's the name of the time traveling cat? It's the Past Master.
Past Master.
Not a good cat pun, but
but yeah. So in addition to SWAT Cats, which fucking fantastic, we've got Two Stupid Dogs.
Yes.
We've got Animaniacs.
Oh yeah, I mean that was
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Biker Mice from Mars, obviously. Double Dragon.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, I watched Double Dragon. Hell yes.
Oh my God, Mighty Max. Holy shit. Ooh. Y'all ever have those Mighty Max toys?
Yes.
Holy
I had the volcano.
I did too.
Yeah. It was good.
I absolutely had one. Are you kidding me?
God.
Like, are
So
you kidding me?
Wow. Because it was like Polly Pocket.
But monsters.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fuck. Problem Child. Oh my God. Rocco's Modern Life.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was
Mwah.
every time.
Both the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog and Sonic the Hedgehog TV, which, oh my God, that Sonic the Hedgehog show, fucking hell. Not the Adventures, but the other one. That intro song also goes hard. Not quite as good as SWAT Cats, but still fucking great.
Just putting SWAT Cats pictures in the chat right now.
Very good. Oh my God.
So fucking good.
This looks really good.
There was a show that premiered on TBS in 1993 called Super Secret Squirrel.
I remember that.
Yeah. Yes.
He looked through his hat. He had holes in his hat that was pulled down.
He did.
Oh.
I remember that. He's
a classic Hanna-Barbera, and they remade it in the 90s.
Yes. Okay, I actually remember that now.
Was Tim Curry the villain on Mighty Max?
Probably.
Let me look it up.
Or was it the guy that voiced Shere Khan in the animated Jungle Book Tailspin?
Oh, Tailspin.
It was Tim Curry. Don't worry.
Tim Curry. Yep, you're right. Tim Curry. There he is. Fantastic. Holy shit. Blast from the Past, like all over the place right here.
Oh, they had David Warner. Just put it out there.
David Warner. R.I.P. Tales from the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah, that was my shit.
Yes. Hell yeah.
Theodore Tugboat.
No, that was a no from me.
The Adventures of Blinky Bill.
What?
What the fuck is the Beano All-Stars?
Don't know that one.
Direct to video? What the hell is this?
I'm looking this up right now. The Beano All-Stars?
Yeah.
That doesn't exist. That's something you made up.
Apparently it was in Britain.
Google auto completes it, so that's a little upsetting.
Oh.
This looks...
It's like horrible.
This looks hideous.
Oh.
This looks like the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
Don't care for this at all. This is like especially evil version of Dennis the Menace. Like especially evil.
Ugh.
Let's get on to something better with The New Adventures of Captain Planet.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Absolutely 100%.
Yeah, fucking hell yeah. The New Adventures of Speed Racer.
Okay.
Don't recall that one.
The Pink Panther.
Yeah, okay.
I watched a little of that.
Terrible Thunder Lizards.
Nope.
No?
Yes, I did watch that. Yes.
Okay, good. Thank God. And then, obviously, VeggieTales.
Obviously.
Can we just talk about, again, this, if you're a kid who loves monsters, Captain Planet. I was like obsessed with the villains of Captain Planet. I know that you're not supposed to be.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be bad. But like, I thought they were so fucking cool. There was a guy named Duke Nukem.
do you remember the episode where the villain put like drugs in tacos and then everyone turned into rat people?
Yes.
Yeah, that was great.
The villain voiced by Jeff Goldblum, you mean? Yes.
Holy shit, really? Wow.
Yes. The Rat Man was voiced by Jeff Goldblum, yes.
I can't pull myself together. What am I, a rat or a mouse?
Incredible.
Did you guys ever watch Inhumanoids? Because that had some cool monsters.
No.
That sounds so familiar. And I'm gonna look.
I never watched it, but like the monsters in it are dope. I'm gonna try and I'll look them up. I'll post them I'll post pictures.
Oh shit!
Yeah, right.
Oh no, I didn't watch the show, but I did have a couple of the toys.
Exactly. The toys are so good.
The toys are so This is like McFarlane shit before McFarlane was a thing, I think.
Oh, I do know this. I do know this.
God, they're so cool.
I definitely had a toy of this for sure, no question.
Yep, 100%.
That slime thing looks really familiar. Yeah,
the tree monster with like the like glowing green eyes.
So
I
good.
had 1000%. I had that.
Yeah. I just like to note that in Japan, you were fucking eating good because fucking The Irresponsible Captain Tyler came out in 1983, and that's a fucking great show. Classic, excellent show. Everybody should watch it. It's on Crunchyroll. You can just watch it. It's good.
Interesting.
Hell yeah. I actually I skipped over the popular anime shows, which was on the same wiki link, but
they wouldn't have been popular here, to be fair. So Randy would not have been watching them.
True. Yeah, exactly. Like, and if he wasn't
hooked in like that.
It's probably some Gundam shit.
well, Victory Gundam did come out in 93, so there you go.
That was literally on the list. That's what I was referencing. Let's do Chapter 11. Chapter 11. Turns out Mr. Mortman found Lucy's backpack at the library and decided to return it. He asks Lucy if she stayed after their meeting, and Lucy says no. She's a fucking liar. Then she starts grilling him and asks why he's asking these questions. Turns out Mortman suspects that some kids were playing a prank on him to scare him. As Mortman leaves, Lucy's parents come back from shopping, and wouldn't you know, when Lucy tells them Mr. Mortman is a monster, they don't believe her.
Hard to believe that.
What the hell? What's going on here? Chapter 12. After failing to get her parents on her side yet again, Lucy realizes she needs someone to corroborate her story. So she calls Aaron, who immediately thinks the whole thing's dumb, which I guess is better than Lucy's mom, who in the last chapter specifically called Lucy dumb.
I was going to say.
Lucy offers Aaron $5 whole to hide out in the library after closing. Aaron agrees because $5 is like a down payment on a house in today's money.
Yep.
But again, stresses that this whole thing is dumb.
Real League of Genius shit happening here. Just honestly, just the best.
I really like there is a part in this area where she says that her parents had no reason not to believe Aaron. He was so serious, no nonsense. He's her most serious no nonsense friend. And I wrote just a little aside. This is what writers in the early 1900s/1800s would call your most unimaginative friend, which is a weird thing they did a lot in horror stories to make it seem like the monster is definitely real. I also thought at this point, a little note, it's weird for Goosebumps to have a making up stories about monsters is bad moral.
Yeah, that kind of, it's your bread and butter, Mr. Stein. What do you
yeah, RL.
Don't want to bite the hand that feeds a little bit there.
Yeah.
It's your sustaining career.
Hey, kids, remember, don't come up with stories about monsters.
Yeah. He's trying to knock out the competition at the
Exactly.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
Chapter 13. Lucy's fucking revved up to spy on Mortman with Aaron, but when she goes to pick him up, his brother tells her he had an orthodontist appointment to get braces.
What the fuck, Aaron?
That's a pretty big life moment.
You remember this.
I remember when I got it because it was pain from then on. Like, the pain didn't stop.
Well, you know, what happened is that they sprung it on him like a dog going to the vet. They just told him it was going to the park, and then they pulled into the orthodontist parking lot.
That's the only possible way, because if you literally think about this for a month before you get braces. When you find out that you're getting them, every night you think, oh man, I gotta get braces in a month.
Yeah. Oh god.
Only option.
Lucy, who is so pissed off that she could, quote, kick a lot of rocks, yells to a non-present Aaron, quote, I hope your braces really hurt. And
They will.
Yeah, Lucy, they hurt a lot.
They will, don't worry. It's gonna suck shit.
If Aaron gets that spacer, holy crap, that shit is painful.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I only had a retainer. That's all I had to be subjected to.
Oh,
you were so lucky. God.
I know.
It was such a weird situation to every night have your father come into your room and be like, hey, buddy, I'm gonna have to hurt you.
Just like to stick a metal rod in your mouth and fuck your mouth up for a while. Like
The spacer is at the top of the roof of your mouth, and what it does is it pushes your fucking teeth apart. And so how it does that, there's a little thing in there that it like a spreader. And you every night
a villain comes into your room.
A monster comes into your room and turns it, which opens it, which then proceeds to cause you to have immense pain for the rest of the night and also fuck up your sleep. Anyway.
And the next day, also, you said what it does is space your teeth out. What it does is provide a great crevice for Sour Patch Kids to get caught in.
Yes.
When you're watching a movie.
Oh my God. Legitimately, like, all of my time as a kid, I just constantly remember putting my tongue up to the roof of my mouth to pick all of the various gunk that had been caught up there.
I still, to this day, I am an adult man, and I still have dental cement on the back of one of my teeth from where that fucking thing was.
God.
That goddamn fucking horrible thing. Also, while we're on the topic, I don't have this in my notes, but while we're on the topic of shit that fucked us up as kids, fuck Accutane. Fuck that garbage.
Oh, yeah. No, I can join in with that one. That one, yeah, that's not good. I mean, it worked. It worked. But at certain costs, that's for sure.
Yeah, costs that we're only just learning about now, and it's just like, what the?
Yeah, I'm gonna
guys
have like a blue sunshine moment when I'm 46 because I took Accutane when I was 14, and it's gonna activate, and I'm gonna go crazy or something.
You know the fucking yeah, exactly, 100%. I'll be right there with you. But the worst thing for me was that it didn't even fucking work. It didn't work.
Oh, that's the worst.
I was taking it, and for what fucking reason? At a certain point, I stopped taking it because it wasn't doing anything. And then my doctor fucking screams at me. Like, legitimately, when I'm in the fucking doctor's office, he's like, you need to not lie to me. You need to take your fucking medicine. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck is this?
Jesus H. Christ. Yeah, I remember wanting to be on that for a long time in high school because I had tons of acne. And then, like, somebody went on it and then flew a biplane into a building because that did happen.
Yeah,
I remember that because that's when I went into the office, and my doctor legitimately, like, before he was like getting really pissed off at me, like I was saying.
So I guess it's a good thing you didn't take that, huh?
No, he legitimately he stopped. Like after that happened, he stopped talking about, like, he stopped recommending that I take Accutane all the time.
I never got on it because when I would have gotten on it, it was after that happened, or the knowledge that it had, like, psychiatric effects was known. And, like, because of family history stuff, my mom was like, absolutely not, no fucking way, you're not fucking touching that.
Yeah, damn. Same exact scenario. I have, like, family stuff. So they were like, "Oh, you're not doing that." So I had.
She was just like, "You're washing your fucking face."
Yeah,
that's what you're doing.
Eventually, I did break and go on it when I was in first year university because nothing else worked at all in any way, shape, or form. And thank God that finally did. And I, thankfully, to this day, have not suffered any repercussions in that specific way yet.
Until the day of your Manchurian candidate activation.
yeah. When, they'll say the catchphrase and I'll sleep or sell awake. And, exactly.
Actually, it's funny because both I and my wife have lasting effects from Accutane. For me, it's chapped lips. Like, I don't know if you all remember, but one of the side effects of Accutane was extremely dry lips. And so they would recommend you like balm them up and stuff. But yeah, mine never stopped. And to this day, like they get way more dry than they should.
Isn't medicine cool?
Medicine's
great. Yeah. I had that for like 3 months and then it went away, thankfully. But it also like made my hair really thin, which is just super neat.
I heard about that. Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, that's actually Rachel's side effect. Yeah, thinning hair.
Yep.
So yeah, great.
Lovely.
I'm glad they, a whole generation experimented on the generation of kids. That was fantastic. Thanks, boomers. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, 1993.
Back to Mr. Mortman and his antics.
Suddenly, Lucy realizes she's had a camera this whole fucking time and could have made this book much shorter. She grabs it and heads back to the library, once again hiding until after closing to catch Mr. Mortman turtle-handed.
Now, Bob, did you know exactly what was going to happen when she got this camera the moment that she got it.
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you shitting me, Mario? Are you fucking around with me right now? Of course I fucking knew. Who fucking wouldn't? Like, especially if you put yourself in the. All right, let's just keep going. Chapter 14. It's after closing.
I want to interject one thing.
Okay.
Real quick. Sorry.
Go for it.
There's going to be very swiftly a bunch of 1993 things, but the fact that the library has microfiche machines in it is welcome to the 90s, kids. I bet there are people listening to this podcast that don't know what those are.
And if you don't know what it is, just imagine your favorite mystery movie, or a classic would be like when the kids try to figure out what happened to the town in It.
Yeah.
I think it was It Chapter 1. Like the machine that you use that makes that wonderful sound and then lets you look at really old, anyone looking in one of those movies at old newspaper clippings, that's a microfiche machine.
Yeah. You use one in Night in the Woods.
Yeah. Yep. Love that.
Also, at one point in this chapter, Lucy, as narrator, says, in a few minutes, I hoped it would be feeding time, period. Pause. Monster Time, which I think would be a great podcast name.
Chapter 14. It's after closing, and Lucy is very nervous. She might miss dinner for this, so it better be worth it. Lucy realizes that her camera will make a noise when it takes a pic, but convinces herself as long as she gets one good one, it'll be fine. Also, Mortman's humming should cover up whatever camera sounds happen when the pic is taken.
Sure.
Though what she's going to do about the camera flash seems like it must have slipped her mind, because there's absolutely going to be a flash when she uses the camera. We can all safely assume that this will happen. Then Mr. Mortman slips into his room and begins eating flies. Then some white moths from their jars. Lucy readies her camera and takes the shot. Oh, weird. No camera flash cliffhanger. That's odd.
Yeah, that's a missed opportunity.
Yeah, it's I don't understand why. Chapter 15, never mind, camera flash confirmed. Seems like a mistake to not end the last chapter with the flash, but whatever. Lucy's got to get the fuck out of here pronto. Mortman, whose description just makes me think of the monster from John Carpenter's The Thing, we already talked about that, gets blinded by the flash of Lucy's camera, allowing her some time to hide. As Mortman screams, "Who's there?" and "You won't get away," over and over, Lucy makes a break for the door and eats shit on a book cart, dropping the camera. Chapter 16. Lucy scrambles to her feet and grabs her camera just as the phone call rings throughout the library, distracting Mortman long enough for Lucy to book it. Insert laughter here. Lucy makes it home just as her I like the Lucy makes it there were multiple times where I wanted to put the pun book 'em in here, but I refrained. Lucy makes it home just as her dad pulls into the driveway, leading her to start hounding him like an insane person about going somewhere, anywhere, to develop the photo she just took of Mortman. Lucy decides to not tell her father what the photo she wants developed is of, which improved my opinion of her somewhat. At least until she immediately decides to go back on this decision and tells her parents she just took a picture of Mr. Mortman in monster form. Lucy pitches developing the photo at a 1-hour photo place at the mall, which also has a Chinese place.
To the 90s. Welcome to the 90s.
We rent videos to put in our VCRs, and we develop our photos in 1 hour. 90s. Lucy's mom calls up to Randy and tells him to get ready to go out for Chinese. And Randy says he doesn't like Chinese food. Who the fuck doesn't like Chinese food? On top of that,
little monster.
Worst.
Fucking insane. On top of that, Lucy's mom says to Randy, quote, "I'll get you the plain lo mein noodles you like."
Yes.
Ugh.
Plain lo mein noodles.
The most 6-year-old food choice you could.
Don't know why Lucy's so shocked about Mr. Mortman being a monster when she's been living with one for years.
How right you were.
How right I was. So we cut to the mall and we're absolutely assaulted with Randy being a weird idiot. He complains his noodles taste funny, his spare ribs are too greasy, his soup's too hot, and he spills his water all over the table.
What I like is the soup's too hot. Okay, can you help? Can you help? Let it sit for 5 minutes.
That's shit. If you just let events take their course, that's going to become better, Randy. Just hang in there.
just literally chill. And my last note in here about Randy is, what is with this weird child? Anyways, Lucy understandably daydreams about proving everyone wrong with her photograph. As the family starts leaving the restaurant, Randy nearly spills another glass of water all over the table. What the fuck is with this child? Lucy rushes to the 1 hour photo place to get her photo, which costs $14 to have developed.
Which, holy shit.
Holy shit, that's like 3 house down payments. Lucy tears into the photos, and when she finally gets to the photo of Mr. Mortman, she gasps.
I don't have a ton to say except that, man, the idea of eating dinner at a Chinese restaurant in a mall, food court, while you wait for your 1 hour photos to develop, or for being in a mall for any reason, is the most being a kid in the 90s thing I can think of.
Hey, Mario, you keep saying this word, mall. What is that?
Yeah. Well, a mall's a horrible place where old people walk around. There are stores that sell you nothing of value. Teenagers would sometimes spend a lot of time there doing absolutely fuck all.
Nothing.
And there were food courts where they had Chinese food that consisted of a meat in sugar sauce. It was great.
We all loved it. They were fantastic. And now they're dead. And honestly, we're probably better for it.
We were probably better for it.
But yeah, that does it with my chapter outlines. Yeah, Mario, you wanna go ahead and
I got this. I even wrote summaries.
Gotta take us home.
I got this. All right. So, chapter 17. Mr. Mormon doesn't show up in photos because monsters follow vampire rules.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can buy it. Sure, why not?
I mean, fair enough. Lucy's parents have decided she is going insane and forbid her from ever talking about Mr. Mortman again, which is going to be very difficult because she's still going to Reading Rangers.
The twist becomes harder and harder to rationalize as this.
Yeah, right. We'll get there, but like at this point, it's really hard to believe that the twist was planned.
It really doesn't feel like it now. Yeah.
Later, Mrs. Lucy forces Aaron to help her stalk Mr. Mortman because he sort of ruined her life.
Yeah.
That is true. Together, they learn that stalking is hard.
Weird if true.
They encounter dogs, shrubs, and Mr. Mortman following good pedestrian habits and looking both ways when crossing the street. And I wonder to myself if R.L. Stine had to include that because
Yes.
he had a scene of someone crossing a street, and Scholastic was like, "Oh, hey man, can you mention the look what face thing?"
You just jogged my memory. I think we skimmed over it, but there was a specific part where Jovial Bob goes out of his way to call out a big word.
It's obsessed, I think.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And it was like, whoa, what's that big word? Hey, this is a great word if you ever need to know what situation to use the word obsessed in is. It was weird. It felt like that was the one moment where it was like, oh man, I'm reading a kid's book. This is like.
Doesn't she say it's like a $5 word? It's a very old man phrase for it.
Yeah.
something like that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's great.
Did you go to college for all that knowledge?
College boy. They follow Mortman home, and Lucy says going spying on him will be the easy part, ensuring that it won't be. Aaron is panicking, but Lucy has him help her look in the window anyway. Lucy immediately comes face to face with Mortman.
Yep.
Hi, Mortman. How you doing?
Yes.
Hello.
Hi, Mortman. Chapter 18. This one's shorter. Somehow, Mortman is unable to see Lucy through an aquarium. Contains water, to be clear. Or hear her when she then crashes to the ground like an idiot. Lucy watches as Mortman changes and is disgusted as he eats fish And snails.
You can handle turtles,
yeah,
but not snails. No,
No.
snails is a bridge too far.
All right, because she does not like people who are different.
Accurate.
I mean, she just comes off as a really close-minded person.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong.
So Lucy totally forgets that Aaron also needs to see the monster. But when she remembers, he is gone.
Oh, shit.
I mean, like, literally her entire plan hinges on a second person seeing the monster, and she spends fucking 10 minutes watching this monster.
Like, shouldn't Aaron have been the one to go up in
the
the first place?
one. Yeah, the first one.
Like, what?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, you've already seen it.
So many ways to have resolved this.
She's an idiot.
She's a big idiot, yeah.
Tiny little goofball.
Chapter 19. Aaron was only going to get a ladder and is a bad communicator. Before Lucy can show Aaron the monster, the entire point of this trip, she falls off the wheelbarrow, making a noise that Mortman can actually hear, and also suffers internal bleeding. Aaron runs away like a little bitch, and Lucy attempts to run, but is grabbed by Mortman. Cliffhanger. An actual cliffhanger, I would note. At that point.
Doesn't walk it back.
Aaron's a bad friend.
Yeah, bad person, bad friend, just bad in general.
Just bad in general.
Yeah.
Next chapter. Lucy invents the flimsiest excuse possible to explain why she is here, but Mormon seems to believe that she followed him home just to tell him that she'd be late tomorrow. Mormon tells her to use his phone to call her parents, but she refuses and runs away. Very convincing. This worked excellently.
At this point, we're in a pretty thin territory of just like thin territory until the ending, I think.
Yes. Lucy finds Aaron in a field where he is having a panic attack and confirms that he did not see the monster.
Oh, great. Okay.
The whole goddamn point.
Does he have braces this time?
You know what? I don't think it's actually mentioned if he has braces or not.
It was just bullshit. He didn't want to go. He just made up some bullshit excuse about an orthodontist. It's garbage.
I forgot entirely what he says about them, but if I were him, I'd definitely be talking about them incessantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd just be calling pain. I'm in pain.
I'm in pain. I just cut my mouth by like talking to you, so this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Of note, Hartman tells her that she, quote, shouldn't have come, hinting that maybe he does know that she knows, that he knows that she knows, that he knows that she knows.
Oh, he definitely knows at this point.
Oh, he knew. Oh, yeah, he knows. Next chapter. Lucy's mom forces her to go to the library, calling her a quitter and lazy.
Wow.
It felt very mean. This felt like as mean as a parent can be to a child. Like, I've had this conversation. I've gotten this lecture. It sucks. Like, it felt very real.
Yeah.
Man, flashback to not wanting to take piano lessons anymore. Lucy walks in the rain, getting totally soaked. It's not really important, but that is a thing that happens. You might think it mattered. It didn't.
Nope.
It's like half the chapter.
Yep.
It didn't matter.
It does not.
Lucy feels safe because Mortman is very friendly and there are others in the library. However, they all leave. The danger of that.
Yeah.
Mortman locks the door, revealing that he knows why Lucy was at his house.
Hey, Mortman's bad. Mortman bad confirmed.
Listen, I don't think at this point we can assume that Mortman is going to eat Lucy or kill her.
What if he's just going to explain his point? What if he's just going to explain his point of view?
You got me.
Time for a conversation. This is a time for conversation.
You got me.
Yeah.
This is a healing chapter. The next chapter should be a place of healing.
Inconclusive.
Now, I do have here my summary of the next chapter. Mortman transforms before her eyes and attacks her. But I could clarify that and say maybe she perceives it as being attacked, and he's just trying to give her a reassuring hug or something.
Oh, Jovial Bob introducing kids to unreliable narrators at a very informative age.
Yeah.
She smacks him with her backpack and attempts to run, but accidentally traps herself in a corner like an idiot.
Oopsies.
It's bad at this.
We have 2 chapters left, so you know that R.L. Stines has reached the point where he's like, oh shit, I gotta end this book.
We gotta wrap this shit up. I gotta go.
You could literally read between the lines here of R.L. Stein saying, oh, fuck, oh, shit.
Oh, fuck, oh, shit. Like, we can't go over 100 pages. We can't do that. Next chapter. Mortman has to stop attacking to clean up the card catalog because he is a monster librarian.
I wrote that down. I know that this is your chapter and these are your summaries, but I absolutely wrote down chapter 23, quote, Mr. Mortman was a monster. but he was also a librarian.
It's just like vampire rules. Like when you scatter sand or salt, they got to count the grains. It's the same thing.
They have to.
I like the implication that librarians absolutely must clean up a card catalog.
Yeah.
That's just a rule of them as a species.
Yeah, he's a librarian first and a monster second.
And I said, I'm sorry, because he's a monster librarian, and not because R.L. Stine needed this book to end. Lucy flees and is pursued by Aaron, who was conveniently watching the whole time, but not helping.
Terrible.
He was screaming in silence.
In silence. Which also, like, okay, you were there? Why were you there? What the fuck? Why? What the fuck? RL, come on.
He's just there. It's fine. He needed to be there. There's one chapter left.
Yeah, exactly. There's one. Why is he there? Because there's one chapter left.
Yeah.
They tell Lucy's parents, who instantly believe someone who is not their child.
They just don't like Lucy, that's all.
Who would?
Yeah.
Their solution is to invite him to dinner. What? Yeah, this is like some real, like, okay, again, we have to wrap this book up. I've got to get to the twist. I'm R.L. Stine writing this. They invite him to dinner. Why would they do that? Like, if you were like 12 years old reading this, your mind had to just like fall out from under you. And that's what, like,
Wait, can you talk to monsters and ask them to not eat you? Is that what we're doing?
It's the picture of Lisa with Simpson with her eyes like really wide, like it's like, okay, last chapter. Here we go.
Last chapter.
For some reason, Mortman accepts the dinner invitation
Yeah, that seems not prudent on his end. I'd
at
say.
all.
No, no.
Oh yeah, I just definitely didn't try to murder this child, and her parents invited me to dinner. That's fine. Everything goes normally for a time, although Lucy is very nervous and also very hungry. Suddenly, Mom and Dad viciously murder and eat Mortman.
Aw, you skipped over Mr. Mormon asking what's for dinner.
So he does ask what's for dinner, and Mr. Dark says, now since you asked, you
are. And Mr. Mormon says, what? Huh?
And then he goes, no, it's you.
No, it's
it was you. Lucy and Ralph cannot eat Mr. Mortman as they don't have fangs yet. In what will become a trend as Goosebumps continues, what will become a trend as Goosebumps twists get wilder, the Darks were monsters the whole time and had to eat Mortman because they cannot risk another monster in town, which raises a lot of questions about the previous chapters in this book. Later, Lucy tells Randy a scary librarian story.
Wow.
Which I thought was funny. I think that was a funny ending.
Yeah.
yeah, that was fun.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Hey, so question for y'all. Now that we're done with it.
Yeah.
When they said fangs, there was no real description of the monsters that Mom and Dad turned into.
No.
Did you just assume, like I did, that they were like wolves or werewolves or something?
I went vampire mentally, but yeah.
Okay.
I just thought they just grew fangs, looked the same.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I think the reason why I did that is because the name of the book is The Girl Who Cried Monster, where the
Right.
which is a play on the phrase The Boy Who Cried
It
Wolf.
should have been wolves. That would have been relevant.
That would have been very good.
Oh, very good. I do like that in the show they turn into like full on snake people. Which
We're gonna get to that because it rules.
That was crazy. Yeah. What the fuck?
So like I think the biggest problem here is just that, like, in context, if you were having to kill any other monsters that come to town to hide your identity, and your daughter said the librarian is a monster, I saw him, and like repeatedly said it, why would you not believe her immediately? Like,
she's been lying so much about this. It's got to be like, I guess they just.
I mean,
you'd want to check it out at least, though, right?
You'd have to check it out.
Yeah, exactly. Like, okay, I'm Lucy's parent. Then it's like, okay, no matter what, I'm going to side eye the librarian, no matter what.
Yes.
But the worst thing here is fucking Aaron. Lucy at one point is so fucking distraught and so upset that she starts crying.
Yes.
And being like, why won't anyone believe me? If you're Aaron in that moment and you don't immediately go like, hey, yeah, no, let's figure out what's going on. I believe you.
You're a bad friend.
You're bad. You're a bad friend. You're a shitty friend.
Also, this raises a question too. So Aaron now knows that monsters are real in this universe.
Yes.
And Lucy's parents cannot afford anyone finding out that monsters are real.
Oh yeah. His time is limited.
So next dinner it's Aaron, right? We can assume.
If he doesn't keep his mouth shut, maybe we'll see. Maybe they're just gonna see whether he's gonna be a blabbermouth about it. But he's done for.
It's also like, why is Randy afraid of monsters if he is a it's just like, a lot of this doesn't make sense, RL.
There's another way to kind of view this, and it's a really interesting idea, and that is, you can kind of map being a monster to puberty at a certain point.
Okay.
Like the way that they know they're going to change later.
Okay.
Oh,
right. I don't know. I kind of had that. I had that vibe at a certain point where it was
I mean, they do get their fangs eventually, when they get older.
Like, it's not as clear cut as what was it called? My Bat Hair Day or
My Hairiest Adventure. My
Hairiest Adventure. That's the one.
Yeah,
it's not as clear cut metaphor as that, but I don't know. I kind of had that read a little bit.
Interesting.
So yeah, it would make sense for him to be afraid of it. Like, you're a kid and you're afraid of getting hair on your face, or you start smelling or something. I don't know.
It tracks.
Intriguing. So I think the lesson here is bad and it doesn't work.
No. I
think the lesson of you shouldn't tell lies, it doesn't work in this context if the lies are not only are true in this context, but were true before the book started, and also you're a vicious man-eating monster.
I was just thinking that the setup and characters and way this book goes, just have so many other messages that they could serve better than don't tell stories about monsters.
Yep.
In all kinds, there's stuff here that you could dig into and tell a story about. And being don't make up stories is not what I would put at the top of that pile, personally.
It's not a thing I'd put in a Scholastic's children's book.
No! Holy no.
There's also the dark undertone of this, where it's kind of insinuating that, the murder of the librarian, whose name I just immediately shot out of my head.
Big Mortman.
How can I forget that Kojima-ass name?
Oh my God.
Mr. Deathman.
Sam, this is Mortman.
But the dark undertone of no one cares about his death, and no one will care about him after he's gone, presumably, possibly, maybe because he's fat.
Yeah, they're monsters. They're monsters and they have a whole family and they're accepted by the community. He's a monster and he's a recluse who lives in a spooky, cobwebby library.
Yes.
What's the difference between the two of them, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why should we root for one over the other just because it's the protagonist?
Exactly.
I will say this. I agree. Yeah, I don't think that it doesn't make sense for us to root for these people versus Mortman. Again, because I don't think Mortman has done anything worse than what they do.
And Mortman's eating turtles and flies. What are the meatballs made of that they're putting together? With the revelation that they're snake people.
I would note this. In the original manuscript for this novel, R.L. Stine had Mortman eat children.
See, that changes things very...
that does change things.
It changed things quite a bit. Then Mortman's the villain. It makes much more sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
That would be
clear cut.
Scholastic made him change it because they said it was too gross.
Aw.
I
so
think
he eats bugs instead.
I'm very happy that I've not gotten any such notes from Scholastic myself.
I'd imagine that Scholastic has changed.
Probably.
I thought they were going to pull back on some stuff, and they have not yet. Fingers crossed. So
cool.
Kids today, they're desensitized, to the violence and the horror.
Yeah.
Kids these days.
8-year-olds have already dehumanized themselves to face the bloodshed at this point. So, I also like to note one change. There's only one major change in this book versus the reissued edition in the 2000s, which is that they changed microfiches to computers.
What?
Oh, that tracks.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense. But at the same time, I cannot stand this microfiche erasure. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
All these kids should know that wonderful sound, that ASMR-esque sound of just the
yes.
I love that shit.
It still lives on in the new horror movies set in the 90s that keep popping out. I think it was in Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, the movie. I'm pretty sure.
You are right. Yes, I think it was.
The Guillermo del Toro. Oh shit. I need to watch that. Fuck.
Was it in Fear Street?
I want to say it was in Fear. Nope. They had just had newspaper clippings on a table.
Okay. I thought it might have been.
It was definitely in Stranger Things.
Yes.
Oh, surely.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
By the way, Fear Street. Oh my God, Fear Street ruled. I love Fear Street so much.
Great movie
good.
series.
So good.
Excellent
So good.
series.
Need more.
Actually, it's funny because Rachel was the Fear Street person and I was the Goosebumps person. Like, she speaks very, very highly of Fear Street.
maybe I'll dig into that at some point.
Well, maybe we'll get there.
Yeah, apparently Fear Street deals way more with like relationships and actual honest to God murder.
Maybe
Yeah,
we'll
it was
get
like-
there. Maybe we'll do it.
Goosebumps was like, I'm turning into a dog, and Fear Street was like, the guy I'm taking to homecoming is a serial killer.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
It's funny because it's like I felt like Goosebumps was marketed more toward boys, where it was like, oh, look at this fantastical shit. Whereas the Fear Street stuff is marketed way more toward girls and be like, hey, girls, be careful.
I also thought that. Yeah.
Fuckers out there who will fucking kill you.
Yeah, I'm
I 100% also thought that Fear Street was a girl series.
Right.
Not that it matters, but like to a 12-year-old, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and there's a lot of that shit doesn't even track. Like now that we're reading Goosebumps, like a lot of these like stories, like it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, I kind of got that impression in some way. I mean, I just always went with Goosebumps. I never touched Fear Street for whatever reason, but that might have something to do with it.
maybe.
I
I maybe the same reason I never touched it.
Just how it was marketed.
Yeah, it's probably actually yeah, you're probably right.
Maybe
I already got
that probably
teased
is.
enough at school for fucking Goosebumps. I couldn't risk doing more with like, it was fucking Goosebumps and Beast Wars.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother.
Beast Wars was the best.
Beast Wars fucking ruled so goddamn hard, man. Oh Jesus.
Optimus Primal, fucking
Oh my god, Dinobot, motherfucker.
Waspinator,
Waspinator.
my boy.
Waspinator. Yeah, fucking hell.
Waspinator.
Rat Trap, that fucking New York ass motherfucking rat. They made him
Rat
a
Trap,
New York
the
accent.
cheetah, right?
Oh yeah, Cheetor.
I'll be real with you. I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say a true fact about me. All right, and don't read into it.
Okay.
Don't. I'm just gonna say it. I had a crush on Black Arachnia on Beast Wars. I'm just gonna say it.
Oh, that's fair.
I'm saying it.
Since we're doing that, mine was
On Beast Wars?
The real not Beast Wars. No. I'm not a fucking.
There are only
I'm not
like
a
two other women on Beast Wars.
Mario. I didn't have a crush on anybody in Beast Wars because I'm not a fucking freak.
Oh man, we didn't say this, but can we just get this out here? Oh, let's say it now. Lucy Dark, she's a fucking freak. She's a fucking freak. But then again, she's a monster, so maybe not. Maybe this is normal for them.
Yeah, she's like a weird snake person that makes total sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really that freaky, I get.
No, yeah.
But Real Adventures of Johnny Quest, the redheaded girl in that one.
Okay,
I had a crush
all
on
right,
her.
all right.
I forget her name.
Never watched that one.
Oh, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Trevor, you would like the Jersey Devil episode. I can tell you that right now.
I'm sure I would. We'll look that up.
You would like it. It's good.
It's one of the first shows that used like 3D pretty prominently, I think,
Yes,
or at
yes.
least after Reboot kind of popularized it.
There was also, I remember the religious fundamentalist terrorist with like the Book of Rage that he his Bible was the Book of Rage.
Bro, yeah, like
Jeez.
it's really crazy, like how God, that makes me want to do like a video series on when kids shows got real, like when kids shows got really fucking like nuts with that shit.
I mean,
that's fun.
We don't need to go into the myriad of influential cartoon characters that defined our understanding of the opposite gender or the same gender for that matter. But I was putting it out there. I was being honest about Beast Wars.
Yeah, no, I'm reciprocating with
I was
honesty.
speaking my truth about Beast Wars.
No, I didn't mean to, like, yeah, no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you feel bad for
I just thought she was really cool, okay? She was a fucking
Yeah, she's
spider
really
woman. Just pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's a precedent for animated spider ladies, because I know a lot of people were really all about the Black Widow from James and the Giant Peach.
Yes, they were, yeah.
Yeah. I make no claims one way or the other on these
At least
matters.
Black Arachne is a humanoid robot. Like,
Yeah, she's straight
like
up
an actual spider.
She's a spider centaur, or whatever you have, what they call those. Yeah, spider centaur.
I don't even want to get into what that's about. I don't even
There's got to
wanna
be a name
get
for that,
into
right?
It's gotta be.
Some real fucking freaks out there.
Shout out to all the freaks.
Fucking freaks.
I'm sure we'll hear from lots of people once this episode hits.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah,
I can't wait for my
100%.
coworkers to hear about this.
Oh shit.
Hey. Let's talk about the TV episode of Goosebumps.
Can we please?
Yes, let's please talk about it.
Yes.
I need to talk about it. It's so good.
It's very good. They really play up, right from the first couple of lines, what an asshole freak Lucy is. I mean, she's just like, I love to terrorize my
Well, not only that, they also do it in slow-mo in an echo chamber.
Yeah.
I love to scare my little brother Randy. I tell him scary stories about monsters until he just begs me to stop.
So who is a fan of I know that she's trying to say toe biter, but I constantly hear her saying toe butter.
Couldn't they see it coming? Toe butter can camouflage itself as anything. Even
Well, okay, if we're talking bad deliveries, we gotta talk
Yes,
about
we are.
Randy's. What do you mean, toe biter?
What do you mean, toe biter?
Randy, however annoying he is in the fucking book, does not hold a fucking candle to TV show Randy. TV show Randy is a legit fucking nightmare. Like, I fucking can't. This kid, it's a mixture of not knowing how to act because they're a literal child.
Yes. Yeah.
With thinking that acting is just yelling everything.
Yeah. I wish they got a chance to film the Chinese food scene.
Yes, that is a
Just him
shame that we're missing
knocking
on that.
over shit and complaining and like ruining everyone's meal. Yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah. I am grateful that they cut the vast majority of filler, but yes, that
Yes.
is
It is
sad.
very brisk, this episode.
Very, yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of like going back and forth with Lucy in the book with like she goes to the library and then maybe she sees him and then goes home and nobody believes her and she does it again and it happens like 6 times. It's a little bit breezier.
Yeah, definitely. I do like some of the changes. I also like how Mortman in the TV show has extreme Hannibal Lecter energy.
Yeah.
He's a real creepy guy. I liked it.
Yeah.
When he turns into a monster, the first thing he does is like this super extreme close up with his tongue like wagging.
He's like,
He Beetlejuices all over this episode.
I love watching an actor having the fucking time of their life. This
You love a
dude-
Beetlejuice.
I love me a Beetlejuice. Like the prosthetics also.
Pretty good.
Pretty
so good.
Yeah.
Like for Goosebumps
this-
TV show standards is pretty fucking sweet.
It was dope.
Yeah, this is definitely a peak for the Goosebumps show, which always suffered under the far superior Are You Afraid of the Dark?
yes.
It's
100%.
true.
In every
It's
possible way. But this was definitely a highlight in terms of, I think, probably the best monster they've ever had on the show. It's got to be, right?
Absolutely.
I think,
Yeah.
at least thus far, that we've seen. I mean,
Who knows what's to come? But oh wait, you know what? I say that, but I think the very next one is Camp Nightmare.
True.
And that has a really dope. It has a dope animatronic monster in it, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, I was also a fan of not just I was a fan of the aesthetics of the Haunted Mask.
Oh yeah, that's a classic. Can't be.
yeah,
100%.
Yeah, that's great.
Really wish they did more with Monster Blood. That could have been really cool. But
the giant dog wasn't good enough for you.
I hate that they turned it into just make it like a goop that turns shit big. It's so dumb. Anyway,
Anyways.
the tongue action was so good.
So we get all the toe biter stuff, and we jump immediately to Lucy going to the library where she's doing the Reading Rangers thing. And by the way, can I just note, every time I read Reading Rangers, I know that a normal 90s kid would say, I thought of Rescue Rangers. I didn't. I'm a fucking real one. And I thought about Burning Rangers for the Sega Saturn.
Oh.
And I thought, every time I read it, I thought, Burning Rangers.
I just thought reading Rainbow.
I did too.
That's fair. That's also
yeah,
fair. That's
yeah.
also fair. That's also fair.
Yeah.
If you go the reading route instead of the Rangers route.
Exactly.
Also, before we get too far into this, Lucy does at a certain point, I believe this is also in the book, but she says her mom is chiding her for making Randy's life a living hell, which is not that hard. She replies and says, quote, life is a phase I'm going through.
Yes!
And then the mom says...
Right. Yeah, that line.
The mom says, okay, well, then can you go through it after you've set the table? Bro, are you telling your daughter to kill herself? What
Even in the book, she's like, I thought that was a good line.
I think it's a pretty good line.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a real MTV line. It's a real episode of Daria line.
It's a real my whole life is a dark room. Beetlejuice kind of vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, that line has tood.
Yeah.
It has tood, yeah. So we get the that she had to read Black Beauty.
Yep.
And she does the it would have been better if the horse had 2 heads and big old gnarly fangs,
Yep.
which is objectively true.
Yep.
I mean, it would be more interesting. Yeah.
Confirmed.
I note here that Mr. Morbin looks like a librarian, and she and Aaron have like a conversation about how gross he is.
So mean.
About how he's got beady eyes and sweaty hands.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, this is a real guy. This guy's a real guy. Like,
Yeah, like, this is just a dude. What do you...
which,
Kids
by
are
the
so
way,
shitty.
the Mormon here, played by Eugene Lipinski, who will return in Night of the Living Dummy 3 as the voice of Rocky, which I presume is a dummy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Either that or a dog.
And then we get the fucking amazing, incredible transformation scene. Also,
Yeah.
weird change. He's eating spiders, or he's eating crickets,
Yes.
and feeding them to spiders.
It's because flies would just not be. It would not make any sense visually.
Nah, that's true. It wouldn't read.
And it would be so hard to wrangle flies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and all of the things that we were saying during the book part about, like, the physicality of grabbing the flies out of the jar, they would just go everywhere. Like, yeah, that's 100%.
It stuck out to me that the makeup specifically in this version, they went with a frog kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which, when you look at how the parents turn into snake people, it kind of makes sense, like a food chain thing.
Yeah.
Like snakes eating frogs, yeah, and the frogs eating, well, it should be flies, but it's crickets.
Yeah, this is a rare case of the show one-upping the book in that way.
Yeah.
I think so.
I do think it's interesting because in the book, when he feeds the turtles, he says dinner time, my timid friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
But in this one, he so pointedly talks to the tarantulas and says it's dinner time, my furry friends. It's like they were just like in the script they were like, act like you're telling R.L. Stine to go fuck himself.
Spiders aren't timid.
Spiders are not timid. I also love when he says, dinner is served. Ooh.
He's loving it.
Again,
He's loving
big
it.
time. He's just fucking Beetlejuicing all over this fucking scene.
Yeah.
It's so good.
You'd love to see it.
You know what I do? Okay, I'll get to the end of it. When we come to the end, I have a thought. I was gonna say the dad in this has extreme dad energy.
Oh, yes.
He's like one of the most dads I've ever seen on TV.
He wants more meat on that meatball. Yeah, I need that
You know
meatball.
what? He likes a big meatball. All right, he likes big meatballs.
Give me that meatball. I want that meatball.
It's interesting, too, because they have the meatball making scene in both the book and the show. But then they bring the meatballs back in the show
Yes.
Yeah.
to give to Mr. Mortman. And I'm like, I don't know what the space between the making of those meatballs and the dinner scene.
They could keep for a day.
I guess if you're just going to eat the dude anyways, there isn't any
Yeah.
real dinner. You'll just throw out some old meatballs you had in your fridge or whatever. Yeah, makes sense.
So, Mr. Dark, by the way, is played by Dan Lett, who was in The Shape of Water and Nightmare Alley, and played the British dad on the X-Files episode Fire in season 1 of the X-Files.
Dan Lett getting it. Holy shit.
Damn, dude.
Fucking congrats. Like, holy crap.
Like, holy shit. Like,
we've got a fucking real. Well, this is our biggest star.
Yeah.
Since Drive Boy. I forget his name.
Literally Ryan Gosling.
literally Ryan Gosling in Goosebumps.
Yeah.
Dad is making meatballs too big because he likes big meatballs. Don't whatever, you know. So as usual, as in the book, I don't know what the fucking point of reading Rangers is because Mortman asks like one question, which it's like, didn't you like the book? Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, the description, whatever. Give me my star.
Much respect to Lucy for immediately realizing, oh, I just saw crazy shit. I'm gonna get my camera.
Yes. So they combine several library trips in this. So like when she goes to do the Frankenstein discussion, she also is there to catch a monster in the act, you know?
Yeah.
But they reuse the same transformation sequence, which I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But, you know.
What do you think, they're made of money?
Yeah. Did you like the scene where the tarantula's butt is hanging out of his mouth?
1000%. I have a note. Mortman eating the spider is some righteous shit. LeMayo, the sounds are holy shit.
Yeah.
I was losing my mind writing that note.
Definitely a highlight.
It's so good.
I just love it. It's just a big old spider's butt that's hanging out of it.
God damn. It's good shit.
So the flash goes off. This plays out normally, except that in this version, Mortman makes explicit reference to eating her.
Yes.
Yeah.
And immediately calls out that
that it's her.
He knows who she is. Yeah. He immediately realizes it's her.
Yeah.
The Flash does blind him, which stuns him for a little bit, but then she escapes. And as she's escaping, you hear a Mortman in the background saying, "Lucy, come back! Come back! Lucy, come back! Come back!
Well, I like when she's running away and Mortman's like, I love fast food.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's so good.
Very good.
Fucking hell. But my favorite part of this entire TV episode is when Mortman comes back. Basically, Lucy goes back to her house.
Yep.
Starts freaking out.
Yeah.
Hears a knock on the door, thinks that it's her parents, opens it. It's Mortman in humanoid form.
Yeah.
And he's got her backpack.
This is a better scene, by the way, than in the book.
It's a better scene. It also contains one of the funniest fucking things.
Yeah.
Where Lucy, in her panic, accidentally reveals, like she did in the book, that her parents aren't home. And so she immediately locks the door, but as she locks the door before Mortman can come in, she's like, my parents aren't home. I mean, my parents are home. My mom is in the kitchen. And then she says, quote, "Mom, is Dad still cleaning his rifle?"
My parents aren't home right now. I mean, they'll be home any minute. I mean, they're in the bathroom. Mom, is Dad still cleaning his rifle?
It's okay, Lucy.
Yeah. Very good.
How's our gun collection, Dad?
It's like, I like this scene because it's like implicitly more threatening, because the first time Mortman shows up, there's like no danger. In this one, it is dangerous. And the show tells you a little bit about stranger danger, which is 1, don't let people know your parents aren't home, and 2, don't let people into your house.
Yep.
Even if they have your backpack and they're a librarian. Just saying it.
Yep. No, it's good to know, especially back then when stranger danger was such a fucking like
a thing.
Everybody was like, fuck, you cannot trust a single human being outside of your family, and sometimes even in your family.
Yep. Don't trust anyone.
Just don't.
I wonder if that'll ever come back to haunt like our generation somehow, somewhere. I don't know. Just throwing it out there.
Who can tell?
Seems unlikely, but whatever. You know, I can't imagine how.
Not as fucked up as acne or
Accutane.
Accutane came back and fucked us up. Anyway, I digress. I really got it out for Accutane today.
So this is again where the show is smarter than the book.
Yes.
Because Lucy tells her parents. So Mortman says that the house was on his way home, and that's why he dropped the backpack off. Of course, we know that's not true. But the parents.
There's a scene right before that where when their parents come home and Lucy busts out of the house and says, "Oh, Mormon was here."
Yeah, Mormon was. Yeah.
And then their parent, her mom, Lucy's mom in particular, is like, "Oh, well, why did he come over?" And she was like, "Oh, he was dropping off my backpack." And then her mom specifically says, "Oh, that's nice of him. His house is completely on the opposite side of town.
Yes.
So he must have really gone out of his way to come over here," which actually is a setup.
That is something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that exact same thing happens in the book, but it doesn't lead to anything.
Right.
Oh.
So yeah, Mormon,
literally the next scene.
yeah, when they go to develop the photo, which sadly no Chinese food. I'm so bummed about that.
No, skip that whole thing.
Also, because there's no Chinese food, this is even more of a reach for like her dad to take her to the 1 hour photo, right? Like, if there's no dinner, this is her just being like, "Dad, you just got home. Get back in the fucking car and take me to the 1 hour photo."
He like tries to open the door and she slams it shut on him and like, 1 hour photo now, go. But yeah, Mr. Mortman is just like walking around town, just having a good old time. And what's this? He finds Lucy. And before that, I guess I should say Randy is a fucking little shithead,
as usual,
and really wants to look at the pictures. And in doing so, he like drops them all on the ground.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Mortman's just walking around minding his own business. "Oh, hey, Lucy, what's going on? Oh, I have this picture." Well, I thought that he was going to take the picture.
As did I.
Yeah.
But apparently, as Mario pointed out earlier, vampire rules.
It's still true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess whatever. I'm not going to think about it.
It's weird because
Don't worry about
in this one, Lucy more convincingly uses the fact that he's invisible as evidence that he's a monster.
Yeah.
In the book, she doesn't handle it well. She's like, I guess this is proof. In this one, she's like, no, this is proof. He's invisible.
Clearly, yeah.
That's not fucking normal.
Vampire rules.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which, does Lucy follow vampire rules?
Might be just like, I don't know if that works with snake people. Maybe it's just with frog people or whatever the fuck he is. I don't know.
That's an interesting question we now have to ponder. Because, like, huh.
That would be a cool twist for later on down the in another book.
Yeah.
Where it's like, "Oh, we're all invisible. Why are we invisible? Oh, it's crazy." But it turns out they aren't invisible. They're actually just vampires or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically what happens is Mr. Mormon comes over, sees that Lucy dropped all the shit. What's that?
Yeah. No, I was going to say, I thought you were jumping ahead. No, you're good. You're good. Continue.
Yeah, and then, because this is important, because this is one of the main reasons why the show is actually, in my opinion, kind of sort of better than the book.
Yeah.
Because there's some actual honest-to-God detective work by the parents here.
Yeah.
So basically, Mortman picks up the thing, and then the parents see Mortman, I think the mom in particular is like, "Oh, hi, Mr. Mortman. Thank you for taking the Lucy's backpack home." And then he says, "Oh, it's no worry. It's actually on my way to my house." So
Yep.
Right.
and it cuts back to them, and they're kind of like, "Oh, huh, interesting." I think they actually share a glance.
They immediately give a look to one another. They like immediately look at one another.
Yeah, and then they immediately, I think, invite him over to dinner.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
Which, like, if you were a monster in hiding, I think that's really good because you'd be very like, "Oh, really?" Like,
yeah. They finally put it together.
Yeah, I mean, pretty quickly they put it together. Like,
That's true.
they're
That's
on
true.
that shit.
Yeah.
Good parents.
Good parents.
So yeah, we go back to the house, and they're
The darkest shit house.
yeah. I was gonna say
Yeah.
there is no they had enough budget to light one area.
By candle.
Yeah, exactly. They could not do a travel shot for the life of them.
Like, yeah, Mormon comes over and he's like, "You've got such a lovely house. Of what you can see of it, like, this very dim living room is very nice."
So yeah, Mr. Mormon, who looks amazing, by the way, he's wearing an adorable sweater, and so the family's sharing a couple laughs. They're having a good old time. Lucy's parents tell Lucy to offer Mr. Mormon a meatball.
Meatball, yeah.
She does. He eats it, and he's like, "Oh, it's delicious.
Delicious.
What's for dinner?" And it happens. It's so good. The parents are like, you are. And then they turn it. It's a fucking insane transformation sequence that just keeps going. And you think you know where it's going. And then it doesn't go there. And they turn into lizard people. And it's amazing.
It's pretty good. Very good fangs. Weird fang choice, but I really like it.
Yeah. The fangs are so good.
They also keep those fangs out for a while. And like their whole conversation with Lucy and Randy, like they'll talk while the other person not talking has the fangs out. So they'll just be like,
it's so good because I really like all of the lines for them when they have their fangs out are overdubbed.
Yeah.
80 yard. And I just want to hear the original audio for that. Like, oh God. But yeah, I guess they didn't really wait to get confirmation that this guy was actually a monster.
Nope.
Not really.
They just decided to fucking eat his ass.
Just ate him. Yeah. He's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the book, they eat his bones and all, it says. They just fully eat every part of him. Which is just wild.
Which is pretty snake-like.
That makes sense.
I mean, I assume they do the same with the show because, like, literally not 5 seconds after they've devoured this man, they see what I thought. Okay, I thought that outside the window was a monster from the Power Rangers. It's not. It's just like a regular dinosaur mask, but I thought it was the
like a putty or something.
No, there is like a mosquito monster in one of the episodes, and I thought it looked a lot like that for a second.
Oh yeah.
And then I thought, man, this aired on Fox Kids. Why didn't they get in touch with like Saban Entertainment
crossover
and get some fucking Power Rangers monsters costumes and have the parents turn to that?
Yeah.
They had fucking Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles like hanging out and stuff. Like, why can't they fucking do that with Goosebumps?
Why not?
It's bullshit. It's bullshit.
It would have been really good if like they had the mom's just like her jaw just like drop open and just like slowly engulf Mr. Morgan.
Dude.
Eat him whole.
Dude. Holy shit. That would have fucked up an entire generation of children.
Just imagine if instead of snake people, the dad turned into like the pig monster from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Oh my God.
And the mom turned into
fucking Rita Repulsa.
The pumpkin raptor.
Oh, I was gonna say Rita Repulsa. That would have been great.
Or the gold lion guy. That gold lion.
Goldar.
Goldar. Thank you. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, I mean,
Goldar.
canonically, they could turn into Goldar and Scorpina, who were canonically in a relationship, but you know. That's maybe over the heads of they weren't ready for that.
No, not yet anyway.
Oh my God.
But wait, that's okay. So Aaron shows up, he's like takes on his mask, right? And he's like, "Hey guys, what's going on?" And they're like, "Oh, we just finished dinner." And he goes, "What's for dessert?" Prompting the best line delivery I've ever it's oh my God, it's so fucking good.
It's so good.
You should put it here absolutely because it's incredible.
Way ahead of you.
Because the dad like looks at him and says, much like he did to Mr. Mortman, like the since you asked, you, and then a pause like cherry pie.
What's for dessert?
Well, it was going to be a surprise, but since you asked.
You like cherry pie?
Sure.
It's not how any human being would say that ever. Like you look.
Oh my God. And is it here or is it a little bit later when suddenly the fucking like Scooby-Doo ass
Yeah,
like,
no, it's here. It's here.
Oh, the end of like all Thundercats episodes where they just like talk about like the episode and then just someone cracks a dumbass joke
and they all laugh.
They'd laugh for like a straight minute.
I literally have all laugh here as a bullet point.
Oh, every time I think of that, do you guys watch Space Ghost Coast to Coast?
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
The ceiling tile, like at the end of that, it's like, would you like to have some of my sex with me? And sure. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. And then they laugh, they keep laughing, and then prompt the sound cue again. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da.
Well, it looks like C. Ling will fit in perfectly on the roof in jail.
He sure will, Space Ghost.
Moltar, that's one tile that needs to be replaced.
It sure does, Space Ghost.
Shut up, Zorak. You make me sick.
I do, don't I?
Now, don't we have some sex to take care of?
Yes.
Oh God, I love Space Ghost.
Extremely good.
Anyway, I'll put that in here too.
Please do.
Anyway, I'm freeze framed on Aaron's face as he's looking bewildered into this home of fucking freaks.
So,
He's just like, are you gonna eat me or what? Am I
What?
in danger? I'm in danger.
no, you're in danger for sure.
What's happening? Yeah.
Yeah, so I remember that twist like my whole life. That episode twist, like the book twist, I was the same, obviously, but like I vividly remembered the way that Aaron like popped in at the end of this episode. I just always stuck with me. And so for that reason, I like this a lot.
Yeah, I honestly, ranking it with other Goosebumps episodes, God, I'd probably...
No, it holds up.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. I'd probably put it on par with like probably Say Cheese and Die-ish.
I mean, episodes, I think this is, easily top tier episode.
Yeah, this is definitely like in the top, like probably 9 out of 10, maybe 8.5. I don't know.
Yeah.
That feels right. I really hate the fucking fat shaming shit, but
wait. Are we talking about the episode or book? Which one are we doing?
Oh, the book. My bad.
Okay, book. Okay, wait.
Book is like 8.5 ish.
Do you want a patented review on this? Do you want?
I would fucking love a Mario's patented review.
Okay, let me get this to you. Here's my thoughts.
Okay. Here we go.
All right. So as you may recall, we being me review these books on a three-point matrix here. I've got, I'm going to bring my chart up here, do my tabulations.
Oh my God. That wasn't Mario just now, by the way.
That was my computer. This
is tabulations. Yeah.
Yeah. So we rank this on scare factor, right? Out of 10, is this scary? Actually, you know what? I think the monster transformation is really cool and pretty effectively unnerving. I think this is probably I think it's like an 8. I don't know that it's
Mario.
Mario,
let me sell you on maybe plussing that up a little bit.
Okay.
Because the real scary thing here is people not believing you.
Oh, that's true. There's like a social anxiety thing happening here.
Exactly.
Well, now wait. I'll get to that. That's a separate category.
Oh, okay, my bad.
As you may recall. All right. So I think baseline scariness. I think we're at an 8 because I don't think it's not as horrifying as it could be. Actually, you know what? I'll give it a 9. I think that it's gross.
Cool.
However, next point, R.L. Steininess. How R.L. Steiny is this book. This is like this book right here is like a fucking 10 out of 10.
I was gonna say
this is R.L. Stein at his most R.L. Stein.
It has to be primo Stein. It has to be, yeah.
This is you want some cliffhangers that don't go anywhere? Oh, we've got 22 of them.
I don't know. Maybe Monster Blood was a little bit more egregious on that front, but like,
I mean, yeah,
this is pretty Steiny.
You want 2 whole paragraphs where you talk about Aaron's weird frisbee? Oh,
absolutely. I would love that. But Mario, can you tell me if there are several chapters that are pointless and purposeless and exist entirely to pad out the length of the book?
May I interest you in a fine selection? And then point 3, and that's relatability, aka the teen zone. Or the kid zone. So as to your point, as to the not believing you thing, I think that's pretty relatable, especially like just like a parents don't understand kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because they don't, as the Fresh Prince told us. So I think that's like, I think it's an 8, and I'd give it higher if Lucy weren't a fucking monster.
Mm-hmm.
And not literally. Yeah. I mean like emotionally. Like I think
morally.
Yeah,
I think people will be turned off by that.
Yeah.
But I think that they will relate to some of it. You know what I mean? Like,
now I found a certain part of the book extremely relatable. Let me try and get you to plus this section up as well.
Okay.
There was one point at the beginning where Randy was playing a video game console. Do you remember what video game console he was playing?
That's a SNES, as I recall.
Hell yeah! So
yeah,
fucking
I mean,
relatable as shit. 10 out of 10, buddy.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Absolutely, yes. 10 out of 10. Okay, I'll hit you with this. I think Randy is a 10 out of 10 for relatability because I, too, was terrified of monsters as a child, despite the fact that I was obsessed with them. So, like, I mean, I always wanted to hear the monster story, and then I got freaked out about it. So I relate to that. And I did on a Super Nintendo and played it a lot, so 10 out of 10. Randy, relatable character.
Trevor, what did you think?
So I don't have a lot to weigh it against because all of my Goosebumps memories are very dim in my ancient past.
Yeah.
But even with that, I would rate it, I would say, in terms of scariness, I think if I saw that transformation when I was pretty young, that'd be pretty effective. I'd say that's gotta be like an 8.
Yeah.
And it's the best, like, special effects I think they've ever done. In terms of styniness, even I, with vague memories of the book series, can recognize his weird little asides that make no sense, and his repeating the chapter that he just did in a slightly different form to pad out the book, and also all those cliffhangers. Overall, I'd say like it's a prime example of the form. Probably 8.5 to 9.
Yeah, exact same.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
Shit.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Good Goosebumps stuff.
Good stuff.
So with that, did you have anything else to say?
No, go ahead. By
Okay.
all means.
I was just going to do our little plug here, and then I'll give it to Trevor to plug his stuff.
Yeah.
So thank you, the listener, for listening, as is your job. That is your that's what you're doing right now. And if
That's what we're paying you for.
if you enjoy what we're doing, please visit our Patreon. You Can't Scare Me. And consider, donating a little bit of money here and there. You don't have to. No pressure. It's cool. But yeah, that's where you can kind of help support us if you want to. And yeah, that's all I got. Trevor, did you want to plug anything?
Oh, what do I got going on right now? I got stuff in the works, but nothing really prevalent. But you can stay up to date with what I'm doing currently through social media while it still exists. I am Slimy Swamp Ghost on Twitter. And Trevor Henderson, all one word, on Instagram.
You got that podcast going on.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
I am creative director on a podcast right now called the Mayfair Watchers Society, which is, I think, a very, very good and has a really great team of writers and voice actors and creative people behind it. We are almost done the first kind of session of it before we take a big break. So it's a good chance to catch up on the back catalog. I think there's like 8 or 9 episodes right now.
I'll second that. I think it's one of the primo horror podcasts out there right now.
Thank you very much.
Oh, well, you're quite welcome.
Hell yeah. Alrighty, and with that, our last section is going to be Predict the Twist, and this is the section where we use the title, cover, and tagline to predict what the next Goosebumps book will be about. Mario.
The next Goosebumps book is Welcome to Camp Nightmare. Now,
yeah,
I think we all know what this is about.
Everybody knows. Yeah.
So good.
So good.
Now the cover is an incredibly good spooky forest, in which is a well lit green tent. I think it looks very cool.
It's one of the classic covers.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And a spooky monster is peering out of the bushes. Now this would tell me that this book is about a camping site where a monster is. And I mean, if I didn't know the twist, maybe the twist would be that it was a nightmare, like that it was a dream all the whole time. That could be something.
It's a good guess, I'd say.
But I do know the twist, so just so we want to know that. Let's be clear.
Alrighty. Well, tagline is "It's the little camp of horrors."
That's
wow.
That's a bad one.
God.
That's a stinker.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. To describe the cover, we've got like fucking incredible work by Jacobus here.
Yeah.
We've got just imagine a dark, like it looks like Dead of Winter, like kind of camp like area with all the trees are just dead, no leaves on them, just scraggly branches reaching up into the sky. The orange like dusky sky with like everything kind of fading into a purple in the foreground. Then you've got a little bit of a mist on the ground.
Yep.
Where there is a tent. And inside that tent, this green tent is just like a green or like white light that's just casting this green eerie glow on everything. And right underneath the tagline, where the tagline's written, you've got this weird, how would you describe it? Like cat-eyed.
It's Gollum-esque.
It's definitely goblin. It's goblin-esque.
Yeah. And it's reaching its hand into the tent and it's kind of tearing the netting, the mosquito netting on it.
Yeah.
Open. And it's just, it's so good. It's so good.
It's very good.
I think, God, I do remember a bunch of this. I think I remember the twist, but right off the bat, like so relatable, 100%. Like anyone who's gone camping and has, sleeps in a tent at night on the cold fucking hard ground can already like kind of empathize with just this general situation and being creeped out to fuck about something just being, if you've ever been camping and a tree like kind of scrapes your fucking tent and you have no idea like, what the fuck was that? Was that the wind or what? It's just fucking wonderful. So yeah, what I think it's going to be about is Gollum is real. He wants some cab fare. He really needs it, and he's just going to bother these kids who are at this camp for some money like every night, and until one of them gives him some money, and then he fucks off.
That's a good idea. That's a good thought.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Jovial Bob, you can owe me.
Trevor, if you didn't know the twist, what would you think it was about? Would you have a different thought?
I feel like I would completely misinterpret the little weird guy, and I might go in a kind of a wish fulfillment like alien scenario here, because he's got kind of like an alien shaped head a little bit.
Oh yeah. Actually, that's a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
Do any Goosebumps books actually deal with aliens?
Yeah, man. Invasion of the Body Suckers.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Two-parter.
And Egg Monsters from Mars.
Yep.
Egg Monsters from Mars. Oh my God. How could I forget?
Right.
Classic.
But I remember the body squishers. Yeah. Heck yeah.
Squishers. Body squishers. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. So I would probably be like, oh yeah, it's about aliens abducting campers, I would say.
That's actually a very good idea for a camp horror story.
Yeah.
Mix up Blair Witch with some alien stuff. That'd be fucking kick-ass.
They think it's a golem? Boom. It's got some grays. There's some grays.
It's an
going
alien
around
the whole time.
Yeah. That's great.
It's even better because they say grays originally came from humans like going through the forest and seeing owl babies.
Oh yeah,
which if you've ever seen,
makes sense.
Owl babies look exactly like a gray. If you've never seen that, go and look that up. Also, wait until midnight to look them up. It definitely won't freak you out.
Turn off all the lights in your house and do that.
I really wish they'd hewed a little closer to the cover of the book for the monster in the TV episode because he's not really. I just posted a picture in the Discord.
Yeah.
Oh God, that reminds me of like one of the I think it was He-Man monsters. I think there was one who was just like a ball, like a furry ball or something. Or maybe I'm thinking about there was a movie with them too. Critters.
Yeah, Critter. We'll say Critter. Yeah.
Esteemed film franchise, Critters. Yeah, it's like
esteemed franchise.
Yeah.
Critters and Critters 2.
Hey, it ain't no Tremors, okay?
It's not. It's a very different beast.
Quite literally.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so thank you very much, Trevor, for joining. This was awesome.
It was a pleasure and a privilege.
Of course, yeah. Thank you for having me on.
I'm so glad that it turned out that you weren't a monster. Like before,
I'm glad the wrap around.
Yeah, that was,
not to, we were talking a little bit about you behind your back, like before you came
I heard, I was there. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, you did?
Oh, man, I feel embarrassed. I feel embarrassed.
Yeah. Yeah, Mario, you should. You were the one who brought it up first.
Mistakes like that happen. It's fine.
Deservedly, yeah.
As long as the matter is closed.
Oh, yeah, we won't ever bring it up again.
Oh, yeah, this podcast, as long, if we learn something else, we might make a new podcast and say like, oh, Trevor's a fucking, beast. And
well, we'll see about that. It's fine.
What What do you mean you'll see about it?
Don't worry about it.
Hey, gang! Tune in the next episode. You Can't Scare Me. Where I'll reveal where Bob will judge me when I revealed my crush on hexadecimal from Reboot.
God damn it! I was trying to push it to like Trevor was gonna eat us, and then we were gonna scream, and that would be the end.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Shit!
But that's also a very funny ending. God damn.
I think we should end it there. That's the best.
Yeah, that's
the best
the one.
possible ending. Yeah.
That's the one.